Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up!
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin.
I got one watching what's happening. Let's get some folks. Where the 300 at? Everybody, what's going on, Mr. AMG in the building? What's going on, my brother? Man, what a night, man. What a night, man. Everybody was so excited. I guess everybody tired, man, you know? I mean, shoot, imagine I had to drive 600 miles, bro. You know what I'm saying? After I got done with the fight. But, you know, I slept in, you know, once I got down here, you know what I'm saying, in Louisiana. That's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I saw an alligator across the road, had to go around it, you know, late last night, you know. But, you know, everybody was pretty much tired, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to continue the talk, you know how we do, but shit, everybody was so goddamn tired last night, man. You know, everybody just kind of like immediately went to bed, you know. But it was a damn exciting fight. Man, it was just one of those classics that, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a clear cut, you know what I'm saying, advantage for Vergil Ortiz, except for politically with the judges. Um, excellent, excellent, excellent fight, man. I was on pins and needles all fight long. Man, come on up in here. Don't be shy, y'all. And man, just a wonderful, 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 wonderful fight. Got to see Comwell do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Just got to see some good boxing last night. And then, you know what I'm saying, for once the main card outshine, you know what I'm saying, everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare nowadays that we get the main card to, you know what I'm saying, actually be the show. You know what I'm saying? Usually have some undercard that outdo the damn main card, you know what I'm saying? Because the matchup is so bad, right? But this time it was a banger. It was a real banger, man. I'm talking. I knew I wanted to see Vergil Ortiz because I love his. He's got a fan friendly fight style, that come forward style, refusing to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was so good, man, because you got two guys that wanted to go forward and wanted to engage in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? We seen some adjustments. They was kind of evenly, there was evenly, skilled match, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like one guy was just overly skilled over the other. So it was just awesome, 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 awesome. You gotta connect your audio, KL. You gotta connect your audio. It says device not connected. So you gotta cut your audio on, whatever that means on your side. Gotta cut your audio on. That way I can click you in. So what's going on, light skin? There you go. What's going on, light skin business in the building? Yes, sir. So Vergil Ortiz, man, I mean, he almost, well, you can argue that he lost this fight. You can argue, you know what I'm saying? Because really, to me, I looked at Sergey, man, looked like he was landing those jabs, combination. He was outworking Vergil Ortiz. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say shit. Really, you could give him like six clear rounds, six, and then you got two knockdowns. That's the fight right there, tell you the truth. And I was so surprised when he knocked down Virgil Ortiz in the first, and then he knocked him down in the eighth round. I was like, holy shit. And that's gonna make Virgil Ortiz a star because he is vulnerable. He do take risks, and I don't even think he has a choice, tell you the truth, because his fight style going forward, what I'm saying, against power punches is going to be a problem, right? That's going to be a problem. His style, going forward, he's so, his defense, it's okay, but against a sharpshooter like Terence Crawford, I don't think he stands a chance, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be fun to watch him, go in on Crawford and try to land that punch. I think he could hurt Crawford, but I think Crawford would box him, you know what I'm saying, until he make a mistake and just pick him apart from the outside until he can break him down. And Virgil, he can be hurt. You know what I'm saying? He got a hell of a chin. Got one hell of a chin. But against a sharpshooter who knows how to hit you when you know what I'm saying, hit you with something that you don't see, I mean, I don't know how Crawford Power's going to transfer because he's still getting acclimated to 154, but I don't think he has quite the skill to be, what I'm saying, to fight to give Crawford any trouble right now. But man, I mean, what's his name? Serhil gave Vergil Ortiz all he could goddamn handle. He gave him all he could handle, and looked like when there were like lulls in the fight, like Sergey was throwing, he was hitting him to the body, you know what I'm saying, with the little uppercut to the body, you know what I'm saying, doing this little hook cross, you know what I'm saying. He was just working, and Virgil was trying to still position while Sergey was working his hands, and that jab was he didn't know how to deal with it for quite a few rounds. Um, I thought Sergey jab was just amazing. I think it was the separator in this fight. The knockdowns was the separator in this fight. Um, Virgil, he was just a little confused, you know what I'm saying, until he started working on some things. He started circling um, away from his from the jab, and he was looking good. He started figuring it out. Then he started going, ducking, going in low, and having the shots go over his head. Start moving his head, and he was still getting caught though here and there. Serhil, he was still like, just a little bit, more prepared for this fight than Virgil Ortiz. And see, when you're inactive for a while, or you're fighting lesser competition, this is what happens to you. So some of the fighters, somebody who's not really on your level, because you're fighting lesser competition, it's going to dull your skills, right? And you can fight all the no-name fighters you want to, but so when you fight somebody who's real with it, like Serhil, because you could tell he was training, his stamina was exceptional in this fight. I mean, looked like nothing Vergil Ortiz was throwing. Looked like nothing he was throwing was really hurting uh, um, Serhil. It was an amazing fight. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Vergil Ortiz had to like get a second and third win. Looked like he was gassing out. Looked like he was gassing out, man. He came out strong, burning the candle at both ends. He came out blazing like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he thought he was going to go out there and just overwhelm Serhil or Sergey. I don't know how you say his name, Serhil or something like that. What's going on, the Kege? What's going on, light skin business, the AMG? Jay Watch 4 in the building. What's going on? He said, I think Bud showed some slide against Imagine. I said he be 37 next month. And he says, Jay Watch, what's up? Kege says, he said, I think Bohachuk should have got the win, but I give Ortiz some credit as he did make adjustments in the fight from the outside rounds 10, yeah, 10, 11, 12, which I think he won even though they were close. Yep. I mean, he just started learning how to deal with that jab, how to take that jab out the equation. But the man had scored. He had scored so many points. You know what I'm saying? He had done busted up Vergil Ortiz's face. Did you see his nose? Did you see his eyes? I've never seen Vergil Ortiz busted up like that before. And I was just like, man, it's like, bro, he's going to be one of those fighters. He's not going to be one of those fighters that just be clean, you know what I'm saying? And just, he'll dominate some fighters, but you know, as he moves up and get the best, you can see it's gonna be a brawl, a battle for him to win those fights if he don't get knocked out. Because he's one of those, Vergil Ortiz is one of those fighters that goes out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? Because he's hard. He got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of courage. He gets pissed off. He wants his lick back. And you could see it with Serhil, because Serhil was putting in that volume. He was continually trying to put on a lot of pressure, and Ortiz was just resistant to that pressure because he's not good at fighting off his back foot. So he refused to go backwards, and he was taking a lot of punishment because of that. Even though he started boxing a little bit, but he went right back to banging, and it cost him a lot of rounds because he didn't know how to deal with that jab. And I think he allowed uh, Bohachuk to accumulate a lot of points. When he was in the mid range, I don't know why he stayed in the mid range for so long, getting scraped up and getting hit with straight rights and shit. And I was like, man, what are you doing? Then he finally stopped moving his head, but my man was piling up the points. But I guess he was trying to find spots, to hit him to the body because he kept stabbing. He kept stabbing Bohachuk to the solar plex, and it paid off later. It did, but he went away from the body attack, which was the problem. I think if he would have stayed with the body attack, through 5, 6, and 7, he might have got a knockout at the end. But he got away from it and stopped boxing on the outside because that jab was just tearing his ass up. And he was worried about the scorecards because it started to get to the point where he needed a knockout. And you can really argue that he needed a knockout because he got knocked down twice. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked down twice. So, right there, he was 4 points down, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So he started getting desperate and he started picking it up, but you could see it wasn't quite, what I'm saying? It wasn't, it was dominant, but it's like you could tell that Bohachuk could handle it, right? Until he hit till that body work that Vergil Ortiz had kicked in, started, showing this effect. But I think, like I said, if he would have worked just 3 more rounds with the body work, I think he could have got your boy up out of there in a tough fight. But like I said, it was close. I would have been cool with a draw. A majority decision is ridiculous. for Vergil Ortiz because all the adversity and the knockdowns and the boxing of Bohachunk, was definitely superior. Um, that won the night, and I mean, I don't know how in the hell the judges. I don't know how in the hell the judges saw a majority damn decision. That's fucking ridiculous. It's just goddamn ridiculous. You know, he said his powerful. Now you could argue that Virgil, threw more of the power shots. Say if you want to give him like a steal, I mean, still, Bohachuk, man, he was hitting them with three shots to his one. So I know he doubled up. I mean, I would be interested to see what the Concubot, the computer scores are for the fight because I'm pretty sure he doubled what Virgil put out there. I'm pretty sure he doubled that shit. He says his fight sure didn't carry up to. Oh, you talking about Crawford? We don't know. We don't know. And see, I'm gonna tell you why we don't know because he hasn't acclimated to 154 yet. He had a year off. Bud had a year off, and he moved up to 154. So when you like when Hearns moved up to middleweight, he didn't allow himself, to get a few little easy fights before he went to Hagler. And so, you go up there, you got good power, but you can't sustain that power. For a heavier weight, right? But I think as long as the longer he stays at 154, the more stronger he'll get. Just like he did at 147. He'll get stronger, as he get acclimated to the weight. That was just his first fight. Like Tim Zoo was saying, about Vergil Ortiz, it's just a few fights in for 154. So you kind of got to settle in at the weight. You got to get used to hitting them bigger guys, just like David Benavidez moving to 175. Them guys, when you move to the next weight class, they don't just fall over and shit when you hit them 2 and 3 times with power shots. No, so they can absorb that shit. That's in the last weight class you're thinking about. But when you go to the next weight class, the journeyman can take shots. People got chins. Your power ain't as great as it was, so you got to work on it. And I know he's 37, but the last thing to go is power, right? You may lose some speed. You may lose some stamina, but you're gonna maintain that power is gonna be what you have, and you can work on that. If you're already born with it. So I think he'll get stronger as he settles into 154. Now, can he beat anybody? Like a Jamel Charlo or a revamp, a re weighted Aerosmith Jr. who's going to be better at a natural 154. I don't know if that's enough weight for Aerosmith Jr. To get out of that starvation mode. And to be able to turn it on and reclaim his vitality. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see that fight and how Aerosmith Jr. adjusts to 154. But he's already fought at 154 before, so hopefully it'll be a good transition for him. It's just a lot of question marks above Aerosmith Jr. right now. We don't know what the hell's going on with EJ. The coaching situation. What is he really going with Roy Jones? Whatever. But but as far as Bud, I think he's going to settle in at 154. I don't think he's going to go any higher than that unless he gets the Canelo fight, and he'll probably retire. If he gets that Canelo fight, it's probably pretty much a done deal. If he gets that, because he really wouldn't need no more money. He said, I think Bohachunk won, especially with the 2 knockdowns. Said Virgil would have needed to win 8 rounds in order, to seal a win. But they gave him the fight for effort. Yeah, they gave him the fight for effort because he definitely showed heart and he showed intensity. I mean, you could see the struggle of him. He was tired, man. I mean, his conditioning, you know what I'm saying, even though he pushed through, but you could tell his conditioning was suspect. You know, he like everybody was saying, he was gassing out, man. Said he's tired. Yep. He says counterpunch. He says counterpunch. I do not understand then why a lot of people are saying Virgil got exposed by Serhil because he got outboxed. Because he got outboxed. That's why. You know, he was slow to adjust. That's that's what I saw. I saw that, you know, he had, you know, saying his adjustment ability, you know, his versatility, you know what I'm saying? And he could figure it out. You could see him figuring it out as he went along. It was just he was losing rounds while he was doing it. And he even though he was making some good adjustments, it just came too late in the fight. Kind of like Lomachenko when he fought Tio, right? You know, Lomachenko was just sizing him up and just trying to figure out where the angles were coming from, and because he wanted to make sure he didn't get hit with that power that Tio got. And once he figured it out, he turned up, right? And it's kind of the same thing, except Virgil was getting hit. You know what I'm saying? He was getting hit with that jab. He was getting hit with them uppercuts, and he got knocked down 2 times. So that's the fight right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be able to make your adjustments without losing so many rounds. And I think that was his problem. I think he figured he was going to knock out this guy, and it didn't work. It didn't work out that way for him, because that's why he came out blazing like lightning, and like he always do. And when he hit that dude, he didn't move. He must have forgot that he's at 154 and not 147. Where he could just go out there and he can just blast the guy with a couple of power shots, and the dude be all wobbly and shit. But if he would have really, really grind and stayed with that body, because he had a beautiful body work that was going on, and even though he was losing the boxing match, I think he would have won. He would have got the knockout if he would have just stayed with the game plan, stayed with the body, and just kept, because he was stabbing him to the body, and you could see in the end where Vergil Ortiz started just hitting the belt line. He was just going crazy on the belt line, and you could see it. It started getting to Bohachunk. It started getting to him. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, Virgil done figured it, done found something, but he found it a little late. And then he got hit when he took that one shot where he was a little bit too far over, you know what I'm saying, his knee, and he tried to throw a hook or something like that, and both caught him with a nice little shot before he could get off. And then, when he tried to throw the hook, he just fell. Boom, he was off balance. That shit was fast. I was like, holy shit. Man, when you watch Vergil Ortiz fight, bro, you never know what's gonna happen. Like when he fought Aegis Kavalauskas and he came out there with the blade, he was putting them hands and feet on Aegis Kavalauskas, and Kavalauskas just but loomed his ass. I was like, oh God, man, and the Virgil just went down, bro. That should be exciting, man, when Virgil fight, because he does get hit. I mean, he gets hit hard, and you can see it affect him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's beautiful, man, because that's the drama of the fight. That the Jim Lampleys and the what's his name? What's he said? Don't know shit about not Mayweather, but what's the name? He always talking about the drama of the damn fight. What's Jim Lampley's partner name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's always talking about the damn drama of the fight. And I think Vergil Ortiz, he brings a lot of drama, said, to the fight, because he's not levels above the guy that he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? And he always gets hit. So I love Larry Merchant. Yeah, God damn it, I can't remember Larry Merchant's name. Larry Merchant, always talking about the drama of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though that motherfucker, he has witnessed a lot of beautiful fights, bro. I'm talking about, I was right there with Larry and Jim Lampley for most of them motherfuckers. And I'm talking about, he knows what he's talking about when he's talking about the drama of the fight. And I think Vergil Ortiz is that type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? He every time he fights, it's gonna be exciting. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of those, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of those. He says, I had what you said, you had Bud coming in at 170, which was heavier than Oh, Mondranov. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Probably because Bud looked like he was bigger than Mandronov for all the stuff they were saying about Mandronov's size, and he's like the White Hulk or some shit. And I'm like, bro, you did not look heavier than Bud Crawford. You did not look bigger than Bud Crawford. It was like some kind of weird optical illusion thing they were doing. Yeah, he might have been cut and sized up or whatever. But Bud was, he was cut too, you know what I'm saying? So, and when you see him stand side by side, Bud was just as big as he was. So I think that's something that Bud likes to do. He likes to be deceptive. And I think he likes to come in, you know what I'm saying? He likes to come in extra, saying extra big, a little bit more buckier. So, he can kind of intimidate, you know what I'm saying? So people, they be saying he's the weaker guy. He wants to be the stronger guy. So he's gonna go in there and make sure, what I'm saying, he's benching the gym and shit, whatever he's gotta do. He says, Greek with Fire said it's downhill from and from on for Crawfish says I got him stopped in his next fight if he fight Boots. That's the fight that Turker Ali wants. He's very pissed with Canelo Alvarez. He's pissed off right now with a couple of fighters. Tim Tszyu, he's pissed off with because I think Tim Tszyu uh, re- rejected a deal that he wanted him to do, and he's trying to approach a lot of fighters with some deals, and they don't want to fight the guys that what I'm saying he want to see. And this is usually it's fights that the boxing fans are calling for years, what I'm saying, to see. And if the man's willing to put up the money, but one thing about the Sheik is he has an attitude, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit, if you don't work with him, he ain't fucking with you. Now he did say he might work with Canelo Alvarez, even though, what I'm saying, he called him scared and shit of David Benavidez. That's big. That's big. You never hear promoters, except for maybe Oscar De La Hoya, right? Come out and say some shit like that about their fighters, right? And you can see him just all up goddamn Turkey Alishi ass and stuff, you can just see him all, oh yeah, yes, yes, sir, yeah, we trying to promote Golden Boy and shit, say, yes, we're gonna have William Cepeda and Shakur Stevenson. That's what we're going to have. I'm like, man, stop, go sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? But and then he even dressing like damn Turkey Island sheep. You know what I'm saying? The nigga got the black on. I'm surprised he don't have a goddamn towel on his head and shit with a white robe. I'm surprised. But that's Oscar, you know what I'm saying? He just come off like he's fake or whatever. But he was a hell of a fighter though. You know what I'm saying? I always have to give him that, you know what I'm saying? He was one hell of a fighter. So, I gotta give him his respect. But he just oh man, he just as a damn promoter, man, he just seemed like such a snake oil salesman or something. You know what I'm saying? You just get that kind of snake oil, like he's just selling you some Goodwill products or something. And I just want to see him, do better. So the way he did Canelo and fuck that all up. It was just a shame. So him and Mayweather. I want to see Mayweather. I thought there was gonna be some great promoters, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Them guys, they had great careers, but it don't always translate. Magic Johnson, he wasn't a great coach. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would have thought Magic Johnson would have been a great coach, but no, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't translate like that. It really don't. You know what I'm saying? It's either you got that shit or you don't, you know. So, you can manage people or you can't. So he says, do you feel fans overuse the word exposed? I mean, I don't think shit really mean nothing, tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? It don't really mean anything. I mean, what are they exposing? You know what I'm saying? If you fight somebody and you underprepared for them, are you being exposed? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the reason is, you know what I'm saying? It's like you just might have an off night or you might have inactivity. It's a lot of things that goes into boxing that'll make a fighter lose. And we're not behind the scenes, so we don't know. We just got to run it back. So I think a lot of people want to see Vergil Ortiz run this back because it's controversial. That's that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? People want to see this fight ran back because they think your boy Bohachuk got cheated. And what I'm saying, if I was Vergil Ortiz and if I was to give him any advice, because it was an exciting fight, I would run the shit back. And this time, if I was Vergil Ortiz, I would get in that gym and I would make sure I train my ass off so I don't gas out in the early rounds. I would go ahead and make a strategy for that beautiful jab that Bohachuk got, and that little uppercut and them little short hooks. He's gonna have to adjust for that, and I think he can. I think he can. I think Vergil Ortiz got the skills. He just adjusted. He can't adjust on the fly real quick. It just takes him a minute to see what's happening and make a plan for it. And but I saw him make those adjustments. I saw him trying different things. He got down low, got in the middle of his Bohachuk. Bohachuk couldn't touch him. You know what I'm saying? He got right down into his goddamn gut. You know what I'm saying? And he started, manipulating his arms and stuff, trying to, deflect his arms. And, what I'm saying? It was a beautiful slug boxing match. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what was so great because you just saw him do so many different things trying to get at each other. And you know, your boy was just tough, man. He was just the volume that he was throwing. I mean, he was like really giving it to Vergil Ortiz. I started getting afraid for him, man. I was like, God damn, he's gonna knock out Vergil Ortiz, man. But Virgil, he's a tough cookie, man. He's not. I don't think you could just knock him out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because once he start, he's almost like the little Mexican Hulk or something. The more you hit him, the more he get pissed off, the bigger his heart grow. And I could see it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's no way this guy gonna beat me. And you could just see him tapping in to his fighter spirit. And I was like, this is some good shit right here we're watching. This is some good shit. I saw Virgil grow as a fighter last night. And I think it taught his ass a lesson not to take your opponent lightly. To, if you got to, say get in there, watch tape, what I'm saying? You got to prepare. I don't know what the hell Robert Garcia was doing. Um, I don't know what the hell Robert Garcia was doing. What the hell? How did he didn't know this guy had this kind of jab. He didn't prepare to take the jab away. He didn't prepare um Virgil for this man. I'm just like, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn, Virgil doing the same shit over and over, getting busted up. I'm like, bro, that uppercut is sneaky. He's gotta be able to read that shit, man. If you didn't see it in film, I don't know, man. I was like, Robert, he's a good coach, but I don't know what the hell he was thinking for this fight. I mean, I don't know if they were just like, nah, you're better than him, man. I don't know. It's just weird. What's going on, JB Sports in the building? What's happening, my brother? What's happening with you?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. How you doing, Pool Counter?
All right, all right. What did you think about this fight, bro? This shit was off the chain for me.
Right now, that's the fight of the year. I was sitting here while you was commenting on the fight, man. I was trying to think about any other fight that I've seen this year that was more exciting and more back and forth type of action than this fight we witnessed last night. I think this is right now the fight of the year right now. I'm trying to think. Can't remember any other fight. I don't really see nothing that was on that level. I know the Palo fight with my boy that was about a month or two ago. Albert Palo, he fought what's my boy name? The brothers that fight out of DC. I can't remember the name. Gary Antoine Russell. That was a good fight, but I don't think that measured up to this fight last night. That was a good fight. That Palo Gary Antoine Russell fight. That was a good fight too. So I can't really think of no other fights that was better than this fight that we seen last night. Now I had it a draw. I had Ortiz winning 7 rounds to 5, but with the 2 knockdowns, I had it 113. I could see it 8-4 for Vergil Ortiz. There's no way I could outright give the fight to Bohachunk. I just thought he got outworked in a lot of spots, and I thought he allowed Vergil Ortiz to kind of get his shots off a little bit more consistent than Bohachunk was able to get his shots off. Bohachunk's shots probably did more damage throughout the 12-round fight. But I just thought Vergil Ortiz was able to kind of outwork him in spots. Really? He was able to land a jab, and he just able to just do a little bit more, man, when it got down to
it. What's going on? What's going on, A? What's happening?
Hey, Pool Counter. Hey, guys, how are you today?
Oh, all right. What's happening? What you thought about it?
Honestly, like I said in the chat, to me, Virgil, to me, I'm a Virgil fan. I don't think he got exposed. He showed his inexperience and the ability not to adjust. And he's not like these traditional. He's not like these traditional volume punchers
Mm-hmm.
or come forward guys that start throwing punches right away. He's like a a a big block Chevy engine. He starts slow and starts revving up throughout the fight. Do you guys
Mm-hmm.
agree?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think yeah, he's more of a power puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's more trying to do damage to his opponent. He's not like just trying to box you. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to like really do damage. So because that's why he gassed out, because he came out throwing a lot of hard shots. What I'm saying? Trying to get that respect from Bohachuk. And I think he just kind of overdid it, you know what I'm saying, with the power shots. He was missing a lot. And I think that really winded him. And I think that kind of like he had to recuperate from all them power shots he was throwing. You know, I think that's the inexperience you're talking about. And also, he didn't
Robert
expect to fight.
Garcia doesn't. I don't know what's. I don't think Robert's good with the bigger weight classes. To be honest, like
Mm.
he
Well, he did.
struggles.
He did fight at 135. You know what I'm saying? He was a lighter weight fighter. So, you know,
No,
himself.
but what I'm saying is, when you look at his success as a trainer,
Yeah.
he's more successful with the guys below 135 as a trainer. But once he gets up, his 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 mentality as a trainer doesn't really work for these bigger fighters because
Hmm.
you can't be teaching these guys high output because they're so huge. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
reason I mentioned that's why he probably trained that way, because he was a lighter fighter. That's the point I was making. He was a lighter fighter himself, so that's probably why he trains like that. What I'm saying, him fighting Diego Corrales, and having some great fights himself. So, what I'm saying, so that's probably why it don't translate well. He probably like a Ronnie Shield or Virgil Hunter. These trainers.
DJ
You said DJ?
Derek James.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
Derek James.
Derek,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Derek James. Somebody who can train the heavier fighters, because they train at a slower pace. You know, but I
Honestly, and guys, I've said this from the beginning. The guy I would like to see him with would be
mhm.
Sugar Hill,
Man, he trained
Virgil.
Yeah.
heavyweight. He trained heavyweights and stuff. But
Oh
it'll
no,
be
no,
interesting. It'll
no,
be
no, because
interesting.
no. The reason why I'm saying that is because I think that Kronk style. It seems like that Kronk
Yeah,
style.
that would fit Virgil, wouldn't it? That crunk style, because that's really how he fights. What I'm saying, like a Hearns, or what I'm saying, that attack style. What I'm saying,
Yeah,
that that blitzkrieg style. What I'm saying, that was a good observation right there. That's true. Yeah,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
And I've said it from the beginning. Virgil to me is not a traditional come forward guy, where come forward and high output guy where he does it right away. He's a slow revving fighter that I think he wants the box, but I think he lets his opponent dictate the pace of the fight, not the other way around. I think I don't know what it is with Virgil. Sometimes he lets his opponent dictate the way the fight is supposed to go instead of him dictate. Is he not a type of leader, type of fighter where he dictates the pace?
Well, it's
You know
Hmm.
called
what I'm
lack of. It's called not being consistent with your jab, and he has a nice jab, but he's not consistently. Because his reach is the man's jab was so long, and it was just picking him
Hmm.
off. And it's like he couldn't compete with his jab until he had to find his spot to really employ his jab, because at one point in the fight, Virgil found his jab and he was able, but he had to move with the jab. He couldn't just stay in front of this guy like he was at first. At first, he was trying to jab him out front, and then he realized that he had to move and jab. And once he started moving away from his power with the jab, which all fighters should know, which all fighters should know, you got to move away from
Hmm.
the power and jab. I mean, that's something that amateurs learn. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I think he just felt like he was going to overpower this guy. And this guy, you saw him. He looked like one of them fucking mutant vampires from Blade. You know what I'm saying? He was just
Yeah.
this big power. I mean, his body. He was the shots were hurting Virgil. Those jabs, those stiff jabs, that
Right
uppercut,
hand.
the right hand to the body, to the side. He was killing Virgil with that shit, scraping him, and he kept the consistency up. The volume rate was just a little bit too fast for Virgil because, like you said, Virgil is he builds up. You know what I'm saying? A momentum, and you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, it takes a while to get his
I
steam
can't.
going.
I'm gonna compare him to Earl Spence. Earl's the same way. Do you guys agree? Earl is a volume puncher, but he starts very slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But one thing about Earl though, he could make adjustments. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying, on the fly. The problem is, he likes to bulldog. He likes to fight a certain way, and he's very stubborn.
Stuck
You know what
stuck
I'm
in
saying?
his
He
ways.
wants he wants to he wants to impress his style upon you. You know what I'm saying? He wants to force you to fight his fight, and that's
Hmm.
that's Earl problem. You can't force everybody to fight your fight. You know what
That's
I'm
what
saying? He
happened with
could.
Crawford.
Well, Crawford is a
Yeah.
counterpuncher, so
Yeah,
he's
that
gonna
style was all
he,
wrong for Earl.
he's gonna do well against pressure fighters. We saw
Yeah.
anybody that mirrors his style and try to counter the counter, they're gonna have
Yeah.
he's gonna have a more
And
difficult time.
and pull
Hmm.
counter. You said I rewatched the preview before the fight happened, and you
Hmm.
said something in the preview that stuck in my head. Virgil can't be with the amount of power he has. He can't be going out of the gate fast because he's get tired out and stuff like
Hmm.
that. You said that, and that stuck with me, and that's what I noticed. He was I'm not sure if it was panicking or he thought Boychuk was gonna start slower, so he decided to go faster. Like it was he fought his opponent's fight instead of fighting his fight and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing about Virgil, he always comes out to test you. Yeah, he always comes out to see if he can get your ass up out of there. And I think he expended too much energy, and a lot of see all these people in my chat are boxing aficionados. So, and all throughout the fight, they were saying he's coming out, he's spending too much energy. You know what I'm saying, coming out because he don't even know how strong this guy is. He don't know what kind of conditioning he's got. And Virgil just kind of came out like he does at 147. And remember when he came out against Aegis Kavalauskas like that, and he got
Hmm.
Falumaloon. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't know what these guys, you know what I'm saying,
Didn't he
got in
fight
the
Mean
bag.
Machine too? I thought
Yeah,
he.
he fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah. He
fought.
fought him.
That's Aegis Kavalauskas,
Oh,
and
okay.
he came out there trying to overwhelm him, and he was like really being effective, but that dude was a lot tougher than he thought, and he got Falumaloon, and see, he's gonna have to stop bum rushing people. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to stop
It's
that.
a. I've said this. It's a young bull mentality. He thinks he can take punches like that young bull mentality is going to cost Virgil eventually because he thinks he can take the punch that amount of punishment because he can recover faster. It's going to catch
Hmm.
up to him later on. And do you guys agree with me with my comment there that Virgil's more athletic than most of these come forward guys that just are standing in one place? But he can't he can box, but he chooses to come forward and use volume instead of using his boxing ability.
Yeah. Yeah. He got
Yeah,
underrated
yeah.
skills. And like I said,
Yeah,
he can come
he's
forward.
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, he got underrated boxing skill. He can come forward and press the issue, and he can fight off the back foot. And that's like I said, what Paul kind of said earlier. That's what won the fight war for him. Later on, he started moving. He started circling to his right, trying to take away Bohachuk's right hand, and that's when he started having success later on that fight. And he hurt Bohachuk multiple times in the championship rounds, so he was able to. That's how I thought he was able to win the fight. But a fighter that he kind of reminds me of Fernando Vargas. Fernando
Yeah,
Vargas was a
yeah,
guy that could box, but he got caught up
yeah.
in too many wars. He's a guy that fought on emotion a lot. You hit him, you hurt him. He's trying to get his get back, and that's what happened in the Bohachuk fight. Bohachuk hurt him, and he got emotional, and then got to a firefight. And he had some success, in that fight, but he took a lot of punishment, a lot of damage, and he didn't find success till he started moving.
Fernando Vargas fought the legends too early. He fought the best guys too early in his career. He still needed a couple of more fights before he should have fought T.O. and some of the best guys that he fought. He fought Winky Wright. He fought a lot of the top guys too soon.
Trinidad, yeah,
And then
Trinidad.
Oscar De La Hoya. He was already he was an excellent boxer. He was on
They
his
threw him
way.
into the fire too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Yep.
And then he started falling in love with his power because he had power, but he lost his delivery system, you know what I'm saying, through boxing, you know what I'm saying, because he was a more of a beautiful boxer puncher. And I think if he would have just developed that a little bit more, he would have won a lot more of those fights. He probably would have beat T.O., but T.O. was just too strong for him. A lot of those guys was just too advanced for him, and he's just
too experienced.
Yeah,
too
yeah,
experienced.
and Don Chargan said I watched an interview with Don Chargan recently, and he's a couple months ago, before he this was at his height when he was a promoter. He said it best: don't put your hype behind a fighter until you see if he can take a punch and stuff like that. Like don't let your fandom get caught up in a fighter until you see him get. Do you guys agree with that? You have to see if the fighter can take a punch before he. And I think that's what happened to Fernando. He got his promoters threw him in too soon, thinking he can take a punch as a prospect, and it finally caught up to him. And
Fernando, he was okay until he started thinking he had one punch knockout power. You know what I'm saying? He started falling in love with his strength, and he started taking steroids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So instead of just getting into the craft of boxing, because he was a beautiful boxer. When he used his boxing, it was hard to beat Fernando Vargas.
He outboxed Winky Wright. Winky Wright is a print technician. Winky Wright, because he fought a disciplined fight, but he didn't do that with Trinidad and De La Hoya.
Hard to outbox Fernando. He just got tired of boxing. And it's that Hispanic machismo shit where he wanted to go in there and just start knocking people out. He wanted to be the big bully on campus, and he got Falumaloom. You know what I'm saying? Trying to use
yeah. And for me, I understand why you guys compare him to Fernando, but when I see Virgil, I kind of see a Miguel Cotto with more power.
I don't think he got more power than Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto could do it all. Miguel Cotto, I see what you're saying, but yeah,
I'm not talking about the young Miguel Cotto. I'm talking about the older one when I see.
Yeah, Miguel could box. He was a little bit more sound defensively than Virgil. Virgil make a lot of mistakes defensively. Miguel Cotto was a little bit more buttoned up.
Or would you say he's more Tito than Miguel?
Yeah, because Tito used to get knocked down all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? He got the same heart as Tito too. You know what I'm saying? Tito had that heart too. When he get knocked down, he coming back stronger. He's gonna knock you down.
Do you think Virgil style can give Crawford issues, or do you think it's more the other way around with Virgil and Crawford? Crawford, being the counter puncher, would give Virgil more of the issue.
I think he would give him a sound beat down. I think I don't think he's experienced enough. Crawford's skill is on another level because he's looking for mistakes that you're gonna make. That's what Crawford's gonna do, and his reflexes and his long arms give him the ability to exploit your mistakes and stuff. So to fight Crawford, you're gonna have to fight a strategized fight. Unless you just uniquely strong and fast, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to be a top athlete to beat Bud Crawford just in a pressure fight. Because long as you pressuring Crawford, it's gonna be a problem because he's gonna wait for you to come in. He's got the arms, he's got the length, he knows how to use it, he's got the timing. So you're gonna have to strategize to beat him, or saying if you make a mistake, he's gonna be there to capitalize on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he does all his fights. Capitalize on people trying like Ali. Right, remember Ali, when people used to pressure
I was too young to see Ali.
Well, I mean, you could watch his films, you can watch his fights. But see, the problem was Ali used to make sure that he got into people's head to where they wanted to knock him out. So they came out there with on emotion, trying to knock him out, and all he had to do was wait. You know, it was 15-round fights back then, so he was strategized. You know what I'm saying, to beat them. And I think Bud does kind of the same thing, being a counterpuncher. You know, he just kind of falls back in the cut, and then once you get broke down, that's when he start putting that pressure on you. And he already a sharpshooter, so you know, so you got to kind of got to use strategy. You got to be a real pro-minded to beat Bud, because he's going to strategize. He's going to counter you. And I think right now Virgil is he don't adjust quick enough. He don't recognize where he at in the fight quick enough. He don't make his adjustment quick enough, and he's a pressure fighter. So I
How
wouldn't
about
fight
him
Crawford.
versus Earl?
That would be a hell of a fight.
That's a
Now
better
that,
style than matchup for him.
mm-hmm.
Or or,
Tim,
or
Tim,
actually
Zoo,
for another
Tim
championship,
Zoo.
how about him and Tim Zoo?
Oh man, all of those guys that, because they're front-footed fighters. You know what I'm saying? They like to go forward. None of them like to box. None of those guys like boxing. You know what I'm saying?
And
They
that could get
all
Earl. Honestly, I think Earl's boxing ability gets underrated just a little bit because of the fact the way he fights. I think he has good boxing ability. It's just the style he fights doesn't showcase that ability and stuff like
well.
that.
I mean, Spence already said he don't like boxing. He like to fight. See, and
Yeah,
the style that he does, you saw him box Mikey Garcia. He thinks that shit is boring. He think that's
yeah.
he thinks that shit is boring. He hate boxing, but at the same time, you got to be smart. You know, so you got to employ the strategy that's going to get you the W. You know, you can't just bulldoze everybody, especially when you get older. Everybody makes adjustments as they get older, just like Mayweather. Pretty Boy Floyd was different than Money Mayweather. Pretty Boy Floyd used to go in there and knock out people. He used to go in there and style on folks, you know, leaping shots and doing all kind of athletic things. But Money Mayweather had to be a little bit smarter the way he engaged. You know, what I'm saying, he'll pop the jab, different speeds. You know, changing up. You know, what I'm saying, head slots. You know, what I'm saying,
Uh,
pivoting, doing all these different.
See,
You know,
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying,
use
skills.
for me, Floyd when he became Money Mayweather. I'm gonna use a baseball analogy. He became a great off speed pitcher where his fastball lost all the power, so he had to use his changeup or curveball to compensate for the loss of velocity in his fastball. That's
Yep.
Mhm.
that's what I
Exactly.
saw, huh?
I said exactly.
Like Pedro
Exactly.
Martinez did. Pedro Martinez did it later on in his career. Became more of a off-speed pitcher when he had that fastball back when he was with the Expos and Red Sox. He got a little bit older, pitching for I think with the Phillies and teams like that. He had to come with a little bit more off-speed pitches. So honestly,
Hmm.
yeah, that's the analogy. Yeah, had to make that adjustment. That's what Floyd Mayweather was able to do, and he started having hand problems too. That was another thing that contributed to him changing his style. He had hand problems, so he was able to throw punches that more effective, more high percentage punches. He didn't waste a lot of punches like he did a little early in his career, man. When
See,
he's gonna throw his punches,
you
he's
guys
gonna
saw a
land with it.
young. You brought up Oscar earlier, pull counter. You guys saw a young Oscar in his 135 years. Do you think people underestimate how great his boxing ability is and stuff like
Who?
that?
You talking
Oscar
about
De La
Virgil?
Hoya?
Yeah, Golden Boy, Golden
Or you
Boy.
talking about Oscar?
Yeah, Oscar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 135. Yeah,
Oscar, man. I mean, his boxing ability was
He
he
was an
wasn't the
Olympic gold
greatest.
medalist. That's what I don't get.
He
People
he
forget
wasn't
the
the
guy.
mhm.
great. He wasn't the greatest boxer, but he was a better brawler than he was a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He had to get with
Yeah, that left
Mayweather
hook.
dad. Yeah, he would give up on his jab, and that left hook saved him in a lot of fights because got such a natural left hook. It saved him in a lot of fights because
So he's like a
he
Canelo, kind of.
mm, no, he's better than Canelo.
No, no,
I
I'm
mean,
talking about the reliability, over relying on the left hook because other punches were a little bit behind, or he didn't use.
he didn't have a right hand, and I think he needed to develop that right hand. When he got with Mayweather, he helped him develop the right hand a little bit more. Even though he got away from boxing because he lost that fight with Tio, I thought he won that fight with Tio, and it looked like it was some kind of political
Oh,
mess because. So what?
Wait, you're one of the guys that thought he beat Tito? Tito?
Yeah, yeah. I think he won clear. He racked off 7 rounds, and I think he just cruised the rest of the fight, just throwing
Yeah,
little punches, trying not to get knocked out, and they punished him for it. I
yeah,
think
he
he
took off the
outboxed
last three
Tio.
rounds.
Yeah,
That was cool. Yeah,
he took the fight, got the bag, got the rounds in the bag, and they punished him for cruising the last 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And Tio know he didn't win that goddamn fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
but that's when
when Tito out of his own mouth, I'm surprised when he retired he admitted he lost that fight against Oscar. That's
yeah.
said
surprising.
he
You know, the thing about it is the championship rounds, man. That's when you're really supposed to put your foot on the neck if you got control of the fight and close to show it and leave no doubt. But he took the championship rounds off, and he just assumed he had a big enough cushion to do that, but he assumed wrong. Obviously, some of them judges gave Trinidad a couple of them early rounds, and then he swept the
which he
championship
didn't
round. He
win.
gave it to win the
I
fight.
mean, if you go back and watch that fight, clearly Oscar took all the early rounds. He just simply outboxed Tio. Tio wasn't ready. Tio wasn't good against fast-handed fighters. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it's just like he just got outboxed. But I think they just penalized him for taking the last championship rounds off and staying away from Tio. And that's when Oscar say, "Fuck boxing. I'm going back to." What I do best. And he stopped, he boxed a little bit, he employed it a little bit, but he went back to the brawling style that he
Yeah,
likes.
and this is why I don't understand Pull Counter, the comparison that people have with Ryan and Oscar. They don't find anything alike. Like when I see Ryan, I don't see Oscar at all. Like I don't see
well,
why
they both
people
got
could
good, great left hook. They both power punches and left hook. That's what the similarities are. But I
that's
think,
where it ends.
yeah, I think, no, they kind of, I think Ryan is actually a little bit more of an explosive puncher than De La Hoya, but De La Hoya more consistent of overall fighter than Ryan Garcia. He's a little bit more consistent. He got more than just that left hook. He's got a better jab. He throws better combinations. It's like Ryan Garcia, he throws combinations here and there, man, but he's looking basically to set up that left hook, one shot.
Well, let me tell you something, man. Virgil, man, when he goes to the body, and this guy, his defense and his arms is kind of like Winky Wright. You know how Winky Wright elbows cover his entire torso, and you can't get in a body shot on him. But even though Virgil, he at one point in the fight, it was hard for him to get on it, get that body shot that he likes to do. He likes to go for the liver. And your boy Bohachunk, man, he was like he had a good defense that was keeping because he had to go through that jab, right? He wanted Virgil to go through that jab first. You know what I'm saying? And Virgil was trying to get to that body, but he was losing a lot of points. He was losing a lot of rounds because he was getting scraped up with that long ass jab. You know what I'm saying? So Virgil was trying to figure out how to get in there without getting hit. You know what I'm saying, with that jab. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he lost it. Say quite a few rounds trying to figure out how to get up under that jab because I don't know why he can't. He started slipping a little later on, but he was still getting tagged. But I think that's where he kind of lost it trying to make the adjustments for that long jab.
Yeah, and
And
I wish Virgil, besides the left hook, I wish he had a looping left hand to the head because
well, he
I
did
think
he did try to use the overhand, but he kept missing. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
that's what I mean by inactivity. He kept trying to go over the top, but every time he did, it was just off.
Yeah, it
You
was
know what
off. He
I'm saying?
tried to come over the top of the jab because it was, like you say, his
Right.
timing was
Yeah, it was off. I was like, what the hell are you aiming? It's like, bro, that man got a big ass head, bro. Come on.
yeah,
So but he started catching them, like you said, as he warmed up. And saying he got it together and he started getting his timing back. So he started catching them with them shots overhead. Anytime he would bend over, he would catch them, on the side. So he started coming into his own. It just takes him too goddamn long. So it took him too long to get into his rhythm, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, well, people forget. I think to me, I understand Virgil's been at 154 for a little bit, but people need to
Hmm.
realize he's still recovering from that medical issue that he had when he was at 154, 130, 147, and stuff like that. That disease that caused him to pull out of his last
The
fight?
Stanionis fight. I sure wanted to see that fight. That would have been an interesting fight.
Man,
The way Vergil Ortiz was fighting, the
interesting
way
fight.
Stanionis had a
Fight,
chance to win that fight.
that fight
Mhm.
would have been like this fight, that
Yeah,
Stanionis fight. That fight would have, for Virgil versus Stanionis, would have been just like this fight. Two fighters that don't like to go backwards. Stanionis got crazy power. He's got kind of basically they damn near the same. They damn near the same fighter. Except for I think Bohachunk got more volume. You know what I'm saying? He's more active in his punching. I think shit, Stanionis and
you're a little bit longer. You're a little bit longer than Stanionis with
See,
that jab. Got a longer reach.
yeah, and
but
I've said this with Stanionis. He kind of reminds me of a young Triple G, kind of a Triple G. You do you
Yeah,
guys see
yeah,
that?
yeah.
no, Triple G, the Triple G only look good against. He
Canelo.
only look good, bums, and see that's why he never fought Ward. See, Ward could make adjustments and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was good. He was better than everybody he fought. Triple G, except for maybe Canelo. Canelo's probably about the best person Triple G fought. You know what I'm saying? His entire career. And I think if he would have fought, you know what I'm saying, like a Bernard Hopkins, or he would have came through when Pavlik was there, he would have got fucked up if he would have fought Pavlik.
Or
Yeah,
If he would,
what's his name?
he could
Uh,
have fought Kovalev.
no,
You
not
know, he was talking
Kovalev.
about that fight. He never won it though.
Joe Calzaghe. Calzaghe.
mm.
Oh yeah, Calzaghe would have ate
Oh
him up.
yeah. Hey, oh yeah. 'Cause, see, these were super athletes. These was special fighters and stuff. See, he didn't have no special fighters in his era. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no
Yeah, there
super
were certain
fighters.
divisions that were lacking depth, like lacking
Yeah.
depth when he was coming up. The heavyweight, it's the same thing with the heavyweights. When people criticize the
Where
Klitschko brothers,
he stayed his ass in the amateurs until they got the hell out the way. I mean, that's what these foreigners do. You know what I'm saying? They be like 30 goddamn 5 when they come turn pro and shit. They try to look at the damn divisions. Oh nope, I ain't going to know what that motherfucker in now. You know what I'm
oh
saying?
no
They
no
stay in it.
no, but let's what is it called? I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Triple G the benefit of the doubt because Ukraine was still dealing with like they were under the same rules as the Russian Federation, boxing
Mhm.
federation. So they don't allow their pro fighters to turn pro until after 30 and stuff like
Oh,
that.
really? Yeah,
Yeah,
after
they're
30? Are you serious? So that's what it is. I thought because you know
Yeah,
you got grown men fighting in the damn Olympics and shit. You know, what I'm saying fighting,
yeah.
kids.
Look at Lomachenko. He started fighting at
She
the
does kick it.
earliest. He started fighting at like 29, like
yeah. He
29.
came in like 28, 29. He came in into his first fight. That's why he had to get them top fights in early. You know, he fought Seril, what is his second fight, and he was asking Top Rank to fight for a world title in his first fight. Top Rank said, "Man, we can't do that. We'll get you a world title fight in the second fight," and he's able to do that. But he lost to Salida by split decision. But
Mm.
Loma
Yeah,
was ready though, man, because what was his amateur record? Was 365-1? He had the greatest amateur
365
career
and
of
yeah,
all time.
yeah.
Let's see.
He has the
Until
same
they
record as the young kid from Cuba in the super middleweight division, Morel.
but
Yeah,
Like,
see
yeah, Maria.
he ran into that thug. He ran into that thug Salido, Orlando Salido, and he wasn't ready for that rough and rugged. See, there's different ways to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying? And Salido came in there with that rough, rugged style on him.
I
He didn't know
thought
how to deal
Foreman
with that.
gave. I thought Foreman gave Ali a lot of issues though with how Foreman
He,
fought.
he, he did. He couldn't beat Foreman. I mean, he couldn't really beat Foreman in a straight up fight. So he let Foreman time. That's why all he did was work on his midsection, work on his
Yeah,
side, and so
yeah.
Foreman could punch himself out. And he got in his head the entire time. He just he ridiculed them, followed them everywhere, got into Foreman's head,
Call him a
and he
money.
was called him a mummy and all this bullshit, and that made him really want to kill Ali. And he went in there and punched himself out. And mentally, he really beat Foreman mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think.
it was
Yeah, Yeah, I think what happened in that fight, though, a lot of people try to say with rope-a-dope, like he planned to do that rope-a-dope. He didn't really plan to do that. He kind of did that, you know, he made the adjustment in fight.
In the moment.
Because I think he was gonna try to outbox Foreman, but he knew that he saw that wasn't gonna work. You gotta understand, he got hurt bad in that first round.
No,
People don't remember. He got hurt. Foreman hit him with a right hand, bow, hurt him bad. He started to beat up Ali at the end of that first round. So Ali had to make adjustments in between rounds. Say, hey man, I'm not gonna be able to box and stay on the outside with this guy. This guy's gonna walk me down and stop me. So I got to lay on these ropes and come with something else, talk to him in between the clinches and all they get in his head. And that's what he's at. That's when the rope-a-dope came. This wasn't nothing that was playing.
Ali already knew he couldn't outbox. He couldn't beat Foreman like that because he saw Foreman destroy Frazier. He beat Frazier so bad. I mean, he lifted Frazier up off the goddamn canvas, and he was skipping across this canvas because he had so much power. So Ali knew what he was doing. He knew he had to tire Foreman out. Right?
People said Liston didn't like Liston. One of the fighters he didn't want, like he was forced to fight Foreman, but he didn't want to fight Foreman. Sonny Liston. Liston said, someone.
Yeah, Foreman. That was one of Sonny Liston's sparring partners was George Foreman early in his career.
Do you guys agree with the comparison? Like people always compare Deontay's power to Foreman's power. Do you guys agree with that, or not really?
Yeah, one punch knockout power. Ain't nobody greater than Deontay Wilder. You talking about one punch, one hitter quitter? Oh yeah, I don't see nobody.
I'm talking about the way they produce their power. I'm saying, like that's what they're comparing. Do you guys agree with the comparison of a Foreman and a Deontay Wilder, or are they? Do they have two different ways of
they're different. Their power? Foreman got power. Foreman got power in both hands. You know, he just broke you down with power. He could hit you on the shoulder. He could hit you in the hip. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Irvin Shavers. You know what I'm saying?
Shavers has power too.
Just heavy hands, power. You know what I'm saying? Just break you down. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder just had speed and power. He had that long speed and power. You know what I'm saying? That power was coming from a far distance, and he was connecting. He was fast.
How about Frazier?
Frazier
had that left hook. He had that left hook. He had good power.
He had cumulative power. You know what I'm saying? He had good pop, but he was so busy. You know what I'm saying? He was hitting you with so many punches. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Tyson, honestly, I like Tyson. Like, this is where I don't get where people want to see that fantasy matchup of Tyson versus Foreman, like in their prime.
No, Tyson's too small, man. Tyson's 5'10", little dude. You know what I'm saying? He's way too small for Foreman.
So all that bobbing and weaving, that's what got Frazier in trouble with Foreman. And bobbing and weaving, you're going right into Foreman uppercuts because you're ducking your head and you're getting caught with them uppercuts. And that's the same problem with Tyson with the head. All that bobbing and weaving, you done ran right into one of them uppercuts of Foreman, man. Would have problems.
Now Tyson was fast as hell, though. You know what I'm saying? It would be interesting to see, but he was so small, though, compared to them big.
Honestly, I think the in that era with Tyson, I think Holyfield would have I think Evander would have given more trouble to Foreman than Tyson. You guys agree?
You're talking about in their prime because he fought Foreman. That was older Foreman. But you're saying in their prime, he would have gave more Foreman.
It's just hard to say because, you know, I think Frazier was a barber and weaver, and it didn't help him none, bro. I mean, he got broke the hell down like a goddamn Tonka toy truck. Like when you snatch the plastic wheels off. He snatched all that shit off Frazier. Frazier's a tough guy. He is a blue collar. He is tougher than nails. And man, Foreman broke his ass like.
Yeah. In the chat, Derek says Holyfield would beat the brakes off Foreman.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, didn't they fight?
If he could take Foreman punch and take him on later on in the fight, he can wear down Foreman. Foreman faced and fight.
Holyfield fought, didn't it? They did fight, didn't it?
No, it was an older Foreman in his 50s.
He was in his 40s, but yeah, that was Foreman when that kid came out for the 10-year retirement.
I don't know. Foreman
gave him problems. He just got beat. I lost more rounds than Holyfield outworked him and won, but Foreman gave him a good fight though. Even the older Foreman.
And for me, as a boxing fan, like I think I've told you this, Pull Counter, that I stay away from the heavier divisions because there's too much politics That's why I like watching anything below 130, 135 is you see more of the big fights at from 115 to 126 and stuff like that than you do once you get up to 130, 135 and stuff like that. Because I think someone said these people, the lighter divisions don't get paid a ton of money. That's why you see
Right.
a lot more big fights and stuff like that.
Where your
Yeah,
boy,
they gotta fight each
your
other and make the type of money that they want to make. They have to fight everybody, you know.
boy,
They gotta fight the top guy.
what's his name? Angelo Leo last night. He got his knockout. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a knockout. That was a hell of a little battle. I just watched it this morning.
Yeah, that's
And
knockout of the year.
yeah, dude just like he wasn't ready or set or something, man. He's like he was just there. And then he
Yeah,
just came
he
over
threw
with
that
that
right
left.
hand. When he threw the right hand, he came over the top with a left hook. Wasn't it the left hook that dropped
Yeah,
him? He threw a
Was
little
that
lazy right
was
hand.
that was
and that
that
motherfucker
was that
out.
knockout for you guys? Was that knockout the same as the Zab Judah knockout where he got knocked out of the ring and came up talking crazy?
No,
You
that
talking about
dude
the
was
Costa
out.
Zoo fight?
That was like the knockout with Pacquiao versus Marquez. That motherfucker was
Yeah,
out. He was on his back. I mean,
yeah, he was asleep.
he was looking up at the damn.
Yeah, he fell face first. He fell face first. He was out. His wife was out in the crowd
I'm
crying.
talking
He was
about
out of there.
as far as it's rare that you see a knockout where motherfuckers is just out, just laid out like that, man. I'm saying like,
Or
God damn.
a more apt fight is a fight that that Morrell had where he sent that guy to the hospital.
You said Morrell? Oh yeah. That dude looked like he had a bald spot, man. He looked like he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was part of Eight is Enough. Like he's a dad or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I mean? He didn't look like he was a young prospect and nothing. So I was kind of still iffy on David Morrell. And then when I saw him, uh, in his last fight, he didn't look as impressive at 175. So I think he got to get acclimated if he's going to stay at that weight.
Benavidez, you mean?
No. David
Come on,
Morrell
Morrell.
Jr.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what?
Morrell
I'm
moved
gonna
up.
give. Yeah, he fought Hot Rod. I'm gonna give Morrell a little bit of a pass in that fight, man, because that fight was like at 3:00, and that fight was outside, so it was hot as hell out there, man. That fight was like right in the middle of the heat of the day. So I'm gonna give him a little pass on that. I don't know why they had that fight at that time, doing in LA outside like that. It wasn't nobody even at that fight, man. It was too doggone hot out there. So I'm gonna go and
Yeah,
he got
you
the
know what?
lights on top of that, so you're dealing
The
with the
heat,
heat and them lights. So it was
the
probably
heat
like
is
100 degrees in that ring.
JB. He's
Yeah.
Dominican. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying?
should be used to it.
He's a guy. He's like a Saiyan and shit. You know what I'm saying? He should be used to that, man. It's like he done been in the AC too
Yeah,
long. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You got to get back out there in the
Pulo is like
cane
that
field.
too. I don't know what it
Who?
is with Alberto Pulo. It's like that too.
Oh yeah. He's nice, man. He's nicer than what I thought. But then he did get busted with some shit in the system. So you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to watch him. He got busted.
Mhm.
That fight with I think it was either Ortiz got canceled. Or was it who was that? With who had the belt? No, that was a Roland Romero he's supposed to have fought. And that got canceled because they caught him with some shit in the system. So but he looked hellacious good against Gary Russell. Gary Russell went in there bullshitting and Pilo was like he was boxing the shit out of Gary Russell. I mean, I was like, wow. That was an upset of the year for me. I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. You
You know, the
know.
yeah. And
WBA
when I see when
they called a fight between Palo and Sandor Morton. That's supposed to be the next fight. They ordered that fight, so that's gonna be an interesting fight Sandor, man. Sandor's a guy. It's hard to look good against him, man. He's a guy that's defensive first, gonna throw very little punches, and if you
Hmm.
get caught up in his style of fight, man, you could lose that.
J-
You could lose. So
And he's
that's gonna be
JB,
fast.
interesting.
And he's
I want to.
fast.
I've
Fast
Huh?
never
feet.
got I've asked people this question, like other boxing channels, and they haven't been able to give me an answer. I'm not sure if you can give me an answer or pull counter.
Man, this
I've
pool kind of
noticed.
boxing. You crazy as hell. This pool kind of boxing. Ask you a question.
Okay, okay.
He
What
said,
I've
okay.
noticed with with these trainers, I've noticed they don't teach their fighters how to use their forearms a lot. You know how in the old
Hmm.
school the trainers would teach their fighters how to use their forearms and elbows. You don't see that a lot. Is that an illegal maneuver now? Is that why you don't see trainers using that,
Yeah, you
or
ain't
is that
supposed to.
just
Yeah,
lazy?
that's
Well,
not. Yeah, it's illegal.
well, well, it's like if you looked at Floyd during his career, he used to when he was younger, when he was pretty boy Floyd, he used to use his elbow all the time to make separation on the
Oh yeah,
inside.
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
he used to use his elbow all the time. But see, you got to know when to employ it. You got to know when the ref where the ref at. You know what I'm saying? You got to know when to get in. See, that's that veteran shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of illegal things that you can't do in boxing, but you got to know, once you get your experience up, you know what I'm saying, you know how, to employ these things, you know what I'm saying? And Floyd, it never bothered Floyd because he was just that kind of fighter that always played and stayed training, you know what I'm
Dirty.
saying? Yeah, yeah. Well, I ain't gonna say he was always dirty, but when he needed to be, you know what I'm saying, he would put that. I seen him put his elbow in people's neck, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
hit
It's
their
not
head.
cheating if you don't get caught.
Well, even Earl Spence Jr. framed people up. He framed. He had to get physical with Kell Brook because Kell Brook was doing a lot of illegal shit in that fight, and EJ had
You
to get
mean
physical
Victor
with him.
Ortiz, right? You talking about Victor Ortiz, right? With
No, no,
Floyd?
no. No, I'm talking about Kell Brook. Well, that one too. But I'm talking about with Kell Brook and EJ. If you go back and watch that fight, you're gonna see a lot of elbows. You're gonna see a lot of jostling for position. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see a
Hmm.
lot of illegal stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to be able to. You got to learn that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have. That's gonna have to be a part of what you do in boxing because a lot of it is physical on the inside, and you can't. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like if somebody hits you low, you got to hit them low. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit there and complain to the ref. You got to keep your mental. That's
You
why
need
it's
to know. You need to know. Like if I'm gonna say this honestly, and defensively, they don't teach people how to counter that either. When you
well, you
see
got to
that,
be
like,
hood. That's why the best fighters come from the hood. You got to come from that background where it's not something that you can really teach. It's just got to be something that's inside you. If somebody hits you in the eye, you hit them in the eye. If somebody hits you down low, you hit them down. You do it worse. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like it's that hood stuff that you can't teach a fight. If you go in there and say, I'm gonna be a professional, I'm gonna box clean. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your ass beat. That's what happened to Lomachenko with Salido because he's a professional and he's not used to fighting like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got his ass beat because Salido started slanging him and hitting him and jabbing him and holding his head down. And he's like, what the hell is this shit?
yeah, yeah. And for me, this is where I'm a big fan of Chavez Senior. I don't think he's dirty. He's in that gray area where it seems like the stuff he's doing is dirty. But if the referee wasn't, if the referee is letting him get away with it, it's not being dirty and stuff like that.
Right.
Or do you
And
guys?
some ref will call it and stop you. That's why they talk to the ref before the fights, because if you watch film on the fighter that you're fighting, you make your grievances to the ref. Say, hey man, look at that. He like to hold your head down when he like to put his elbow down on your neck. You know what I'm saying? When you stoop over, you tell the ref to look out for that. And you know what I'm saying? Anything that they do that may be dirty or you know what I'm saying, or look out for those gloves, you know what I'm saying? His gloves like be detached in some fights. You know what I'm saying? And all the little things got to, say you got to articulate that to the ref to look out for, because some refs are paid off, you know what I'm saying? And some refs, they'll let certain things go. Some refs will just let you fight it out, you know what I'm saying, in the clinches. Some refs won't let you fight it out in the clinches. So it just depends on, the luck of the lottery, you know what I'm saying? And you never know what you're going to get. But as a fighter, you can't worry about that. You got to just be able to make your adjustments, you know what I'm saying, on the fly. Like whatever
Yeah,
ref you get, you
I
might
can't
be an
remember
inside.
what fighter a few years ago got caught with tightening his tape around his fist, like um that they took off his gloves after the fight, and the athletic commission had to overturn the fight because he had that stuff that they wrap around your wrist, the tape was too
You
tight,
took,
and that's why he was hitting people so hard. It's
it's been
Talking
quite
about
it's been
Margarito?
yeah, Margarito.
You talking about
Margarito.
that Paris of
That
what they call it?
plaster.
That
Yeah, the
That
Paris
plaster.
plastic.
plaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think I think Nazir. What's his name? Nazir. What was
Yeah, Nazim
what's his
Hamed,
name?
the trainer for Sugar Shane
Prince.
Mosley.
Yeah,
When
Sugar
he was
Shane Moses
inspecting his
talked about that.
let him do them hand wraps, he saw it. He said, "Hey man, what you doing?" And he reported it to
Yeah,
the WBC commission, whatever, and they end up making him have to rewrap his hands. And he came in there with some regular wraps on, not like the wraps he had in his other fights. And you saw what happened. Sugar Shane Mosley destroyed Margarita, knocked him out, stopped him. That's one
but
of Sugar Shane's best performances.
the crazy thing is, Sugar Shane was on goddamn PEDs. You know what I'm saying? He the motherfucker you gotta look out for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. It's like this shit is
Nazim
crazy.
Richardson. Nazim Richardson, not Nazim Ahmed.
Mm-hmm.
Richardson.
Yeah, Nassim Richardson. Yeah, that's him. A legendary trainer. Yeah, he saw it in the dressing room before the fight. They allow the opponent's trainer or somebody representing your opponent to watch you get your hands wrapped. And Nassim Richardson, being a expert, being in the game for a long time, was able to see that. I guess the other guys that have fought Margarita in the past, they probably had some novice trainers in their corner. They didn't see what he was doing, but I seen it, and he was able
Well,
to put a stop to that.
when you have had experience before, these trainers, they bring that experience with them. If they know that's a part of the game, they know what to look for. But plus, Sugar Shane, he said for that fight, for that Margarito fight, he said he was going through it with his old lady, and his old lady told him that he was old, that he can't win, and that that he can't win $1 million or something. And they were getting a divorce or some shit like that, and they had like some kind of like bet where saying he was gonna go in here and win this fight and win these millions and stuff. She said, you ain't never gonna win again. And he wanted to prove her wrong, so he went in there on one. He went in there on one against Margarito. He had to prove something, in this toxic relationship he was in. I guess that's that same lady that Margarita, not Margarito,
Yeah,
Megora.
Ricardo Mayorga.
Morgan, when he hit that chick on the butt, I think it was that chick right there.
Oh,
That
Oh yeah, that wasn't his wife. That was his girlfriend. That's his girl. That's the gal, a
where he
fiance or
said
something. Yeah.
where he said that chick had pissed him off so bad that he he said he was going to win that fight.
Mayorga.
Mayorga, I can't say his name for shit.
Yeah,
Mayorga.
Ricardo Mayorga, the guy that be
Yeah, he
smoking
hit her on
cigarettes
the
after he
butt.
wins.
I think it was that chick right there, and he said she put a fire in him, and he went out there. He said he was not going to lose that fight. He said he went and whipped his ass and stuff. You know what I'm
And
saying?
see,
But that
with Margarito, back to Margarito, I don't understand why he needed, like, he punched hard without that stuff. Like, people said he hit like a brick house even without that stuff. Why did he, that plaster or whatever it's called?
Margarita, well, he didn't have the same power. He didn't have the same effect on his punches. Once they discovered that plaster, man, he wasn't stopping people like that after that Mosley fight. He had some wins against a couple of good fighters, but he got destroyed by Pacquiao. He lost the Cotto rematch. Wasn't the same fighter.
he destroyed Cotto, man. He destroyed Cotto. Would have been on a whole nother level if we wouldn't took that punishment from them damn plastic gloves. I mean, he destroyed Cotto in that ring.
Yeah.
And, I
What are your
mean,
guys'
Cotto.
opinions on Pavlik's power?
Kelly
Oh
Pavlik.
yeah, Pavlik, man. That fight with what's your
Jermaine
boy
Taylor.
name? Jermaine Taylor,
Jermaine
boy.
Taylor.
That was a hell of a fight. God damn, that was a hell of a fight. Jermaine Taylor came out, I mean, blazing, bro. Just beating the shit out of Pavitt. But Pavitt came back later and knocked his ass out. I was like, I could not believe that shit, bro. I could,
Mm-hmm.
and your boy was undisputed. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
he was
saying?
undisputed.
He
Yeah.
was undisputed. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm
And
saying?
is
That was
Fuck
Pavlik
that.
undisputed against the
would
number
you
one
say,
contender in that division. So everybody was looking forward to that fight. That was the
so
undisputed champion,
was
Jermaine
Kelly
Taylor,
one
fighting the number
punch
one guy,
or
number one mandatory.
would you guys say Pavlik is a cumulative or one punch?
No, he ain't no one punch.
Cumulative. He ain't no one
Cumulative.
punch. He's a cumulative.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
definitely
cumulative fighter.
you know.
Didn't he knock out Jermaine Taylor in the last round, the 12th round? He knocked him out in the last
Yeah,
round.
because Taylor had that short gas tank. You know what I'm saying? So if
Mm-hmm.
he tried to go all out and shit, and he punched himself out, he was done. And Pavitt, he came back. It was his turn, and Jermaine, he ain't had nothing left, man. He left it all right there, and Pavitt took his ass out, man. It's like,
Yeah, they had a
And
wow.
Reggie, I
rematch. And
agree with you.
Pavlik
That
beat
Taylor
him in the
versus
rematch.
Miranda fight was crazy. Miranda versus Taylor was crazy.
You talking about Edison Miranda
Yeah,
against who?
Jermaine Taylor.
Oh, Jermaine Taylor. Oh yeah, Miranda has that's guy that had sick power. Miranda.
Yeah,
What's that boy? Andre Ward say that was the hardest he ever been hit in his whole career was punched by Edison Miranda. Miranda hit like a horse. A lot of people say he had power.
yes, sir.
That
You know,
Zab
but for,
Judah, highlight. Who was he fighting uh that fight where he got knocked out and he came up doing that crazy stuff with the
that was
referee?
Tim
Costa Zoo.
Daddy. That was Tim
Yeah,
Daddy.
Costa Zoo. That
Oh,
was
Costa
Costa
Costa.
Zoo. Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
an undisputed fight at
Costa.
140. Unification undisputed. That was the two top guys
Yeah,
at 140. So everybody was excited for that fight, boy. That was on Showtime. I remember that fight.
yeah.
Zab was
Costa
doing good
was
like the
a
first two
bad
rounds. He was winning the
motherfucker,
fight
man.
easy.
Yeah,
Then the third
Costa.
round, he lost focus.
But see, he was playing too goddamn much out there playing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, Zab Judah was a superior athlete, man. He had everything Floyd had. He just didn't have the discipline that Floyd
Mhm.
had. You know what I'm saying? That was his only problem. He just didn't have the discipline to train like Floyd. He wanted to be a wild boy, being a New Yorker, you know what I'm saying? Wanting to be out there in them streets, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
in between being religious and leading the boxing lifestyle.
Yeah.
Them box they get caught up because they still young and they still want to go out with their friends, but yet they got to lead a discipline. They got to eat right. They got to lead that. They got to have that discipline. And Floyd, discipline is second to none. You know what I'm saying? So,
And that's
Zab, he just
what I fear is happening to Ryan. The pressure's getting to him, to be honest.
man, Ryan Dunn got to him. That motherfucker is cooked. You know what I'm saying? Ryan is cooked. I mean, he could be he is a decent fighter, but he just too his mind is in too many different places. He right now he wants to have fun. He wants to be a celebrity. He don't know what the
Yep.
hell he want to be. He
Yeah, he
don't know
want
what
to
he want.
party and drink, smoke
Mm,
pot, and all that type of stuff. He don't want to live the lifestyle of a boxer. That's why he don't always not reach his full potential. He'll win fights here and there because he's talented. He got that left hook. He got a lot of hand speed, but he'll never beat the top guy because he's not disciplined enough.
right.
Is Jermaine Taylor
Exactly.
a Hall of Famer, you guys? Do you guys feel Jermaine is a Hall of Famer?
I think he
Jermaine
should
who?
be. He beat Hopkins twice. Didn't he beat Hopkins twice?
Oh yeah. I mean, oh
I think
no
he should be in there.
question. He was undisputed, bro. Yeah, of course he's a Hall of Famer. Of course. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean he had a short run, but you know what I'm saying, it's like that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Even if you win the championship one time, you know what I'm saying, and depending on who you beat, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you're a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because it's
hope
not
I'm not mixing up two different fighters. Is J Rock Jermaine Taylor's nickname, or is that Jared Hurd?
oh
No, that's
Jared Hurd.
the other J Rock is that guy out of what Philadelphia, ain't it? And that J Rock, he beat Swift
Oh
Hurd.
yeah,
He beat
yeah.
Terrence
J
Swift
Rock.
Hurd. J
J
Rock
Rock,
Williams.
man. J Rock is he just fell short of his potential. If he would have had a chin, he should have put a cast iron in his goddamn chin or something, because his chin was just so weak. But he's an excellent skills as a boxer. He just no chin, man, no chin. It's like, every time you brush that chin, man, he out. I'm telling you, he's
Yeah,
out of that. That was
yeah,
his only problem.
yeah.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
fought
yeah,
Jamal
I agree with you.
Charlo, got
Taylor
knocked
had
out. That was
Hmm.
he
good.
uh and he said he had some fraud. I think Froch caused serious issues for Jermaine Taylor, to be honest. Carl Froch.
Yeah, yeah, because he had
Yeah.
that fight. He was winning that fight before he got caught late on, got knocked out. He was winning that fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just
Carl Froch was good for boxing. You
yeah, the
need
culture.
an egomaniac like that. A proud. I think he did good for
British boxing.
English British boxing. He was the best for British boxing. You need that kind of bravado over there, because they seem all dried up. And I like Carl Froch honesty, even though he can cap sometimes, but he usually comes back and say the right thing. You know what I'm saying? He say the truth. And I like his style. He kind of more of American than British, really. You know what I'm saying? He kind of got an American attitude. He's cocky. You know what I'm saying? He's proud. You know what I'm saying? And he's strong. And he hate to lose. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I loved about Carl Foch is that his competitiveness was on another level. You know what I'm saying? Even when he lost, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to get that get back. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that in a fighter. You know.
Was Froch's rival the other guy we were just talking about?
To my
It was George
Groves.
Groves. George Groves
To my
was his
Groves.
rival, Kessler, Miguel Kessler. Either Kessler or George Groves was his rival,
Well,
Carl Froch.
I think who was that beat him in America that he really hated? Who was that?
Andre
That
Ward. Ward beat
Andre
him in the
Ward.
Super
Andre
Six.
Ward. That was his rival. He hated Ward. He wanted to get that. He wanted to get that win over Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's who he wanted. See, he thought he could beat Groves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he wanted that international win.
Did Froch retire by the time that Kell Brook came in, or were they around the same time?
You said
Yeah, he was
Froch.
still fighting. You know, Kell
Yeah,
Brook was the welterweight champion. Yeah, he was. Carl Froch was fighting
yeah.
when but they was in two different weight classes. Man, Kell Brook was like the IBF welterweight champion. Carl Froch was fighting at 160 and 168.
Oh, okay.
People don't realize how tough Kell Brook was, man. You know, when Spence fought him, Kell Brook was tougher than leather, bro. He was tough,
Yeah, he was
tough.
huge. He was huge in that fight too. He way bigger than Errol, man. You know, he came back down from 160 when he fought Golovkin, and he came in on fight night. He was way bigger than Errol. Errol still
And,
walked
and
to
it,
him and broke him down.
and if you want to see some dirty tactics, go watch that fight. I don't watched it about 1,500 times. You know what I'm saying? That dude was holding EJ head. I'm surprised he didn't break his neck. You know what I'm saying? The way he was dragging, he would reach out and grab around EJ neck and then push down on his neck, and that British referee ain't say shit. You know what I'm saying? He would give Kell Brook breaks throughout the day. And when Errol started getting going and shit, he give Kell Brook breaks and shit. You know what I'm saying? When he about to get in trouble, he'll give Kell Brook a break, put the tape around his damn boxing. I said, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
it's a
was a
home
good.
time cooking. He
Yes,
basically fought in his
sir.
backyard. That was his home. One not only his home country, but that was like the city that he was raised in, or where he
I
born
got to
in. He
fight at
basically
I
fought the
got to
man in his
fight at
backyard.
middleweight for you guys. Charlo versus Calzaghe.
What are you talking about,
Oh,
Jamal or Jamil? Which Charlo you talking about?
Jamel.
It really don't matter. Now one of them gonna beat Calzaghe. I
well,
don't see now one of them beating
well,
Calzaghe.
I think if Calzaghe would have fought Roy Jones Jr. in his prime, I think Roy would have destroyed him. I don't think nobody could fuck with prime Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? It's like Calzaghe. I mean, he called. It was two fighters from over there that called. Well, it was two fighters everybody wanted to see Roy Jones Jr. fight, and that was the Doctor Destroyer. The Doctor Destroyer said Roy Jones Jr. put fear in his heart. That's why he wanted to fight him, because he said he's never seen anybody with that kind of speed and skill, and he wanted to fight him. But of
Wow.
course, Nigel Ben, you know what I'm saying, it was suspect that he had some shit in him too. And let me see that Joe Kazagi, he wasn't fighting nobody back then. He was still trying to, fight those little dudes. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to take on that challenge because Roy was just on a whole nother level in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? That dude was Superman in the 90s. So Joe, he didn't want to face that kind of shit. He waited till Roy got old, started getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's when everybody stopped wanting to get that name on their resume. But Prime Roy, nobody really wanted to touch Roy. When he went up to heavyweight, that's when he messed up his
He
body.
should have stayed there. He should have never went back down and fought Tarver. He cut too much weight,
Right.
man. Lost a lot of his
And then he rushed.
capabilities, man. Went down the drain, man, when he went back down to 175.
And he
So he should have
rushed
stayed
down.
there. Huh?
He rushed down to 175. He cut all that weight, that muscle, and
Mm-hmm.
you could see how depleted he was in the fight. Roy never ever had problems with his conditioning in fights, but in that fight, he was tired. He was lethargic. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, it just was a bad fight for him. So he shouldn't have never, like you said, he should have stayed up at heavyweight.
Yeah, he had Holyfield fight when Holyfield wasn't the same. He had a big money fight with Holyfield, and then after that, he had a mega fight with Tyson, and Tyson wasn't the same. So he had two big fights up at heavyweight. Why are you going back down to 175 fighting
because
loudmouth
Paul was
Tarver. You know,
talking
Tarver
shit.
let Tarver get in his head in the post-fight press conference.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
gonna see him and hush his mouth, close his mouth for him. And that was a bad mistake. He should have stayed at one heavyweight. There's much more money, much more prolific fights up at heavyweight. Two legends you could have fought. You going down there fighting loudmouth Tarver.
But see, this is what I'm talking about too. You know, when you have fighters that, going through the gauntlet and fighting everybody, then you got somebody like Tava, they fresh. You know what I'm saying? They not really fighting fights like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they fresh. You done been through the James Toney, and you done been through Bernard Hopkins, and you know what I'm saying, you done been through the gauntlet of top fighters. You done proved what you had to prove. Then here come this dude who's stalking you. You know what I'm saying? All he's doing is training for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you can't even get the motivation because you don't even know this dude like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think they did meet in the amateur. I can't remember. Did they meet in the amateurs or not? But you know,
Do you
he
guys
was fresh.
agree with people that Floyd avoided Paul Williams?
What about Paul?
A lot of people say he voted Paul Williams and Antonio Margarita. They say he supposed to have fought both of them. Both of them guys was in his era at 147, but
Yeah,
it
but
turned out that
Paul
was right. He shouldn't have fought Margarita because he was cheap.
but Paul what Floyd and well Paul to tell you himself, he said they avoided each other because I don't think they really. Well, Paul said this. He said, they talked about the fight. He said, but they never really, came to no kind of, agreement or nothing like that. And Floyd retired. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Margarito. You know what I'm saying? But that's, Floyd specialized in fighting Mexicans. You know what I'm saying, Hispanic people. So I don't see how that would be a problem. Floyd don't have a problem with power punches and stuff like that because his defense is different. I mean, the only reason Floyd, made it far as he made it is because his defense was crazy, man. He had a
He
different skill
adjusted.
set. He had a different skill set when it came to inside fighting, outside fighting. I don't think he would have had a problem fighting any of those guys. I think he was just tired, and he like Lomachenko right now. He's unmotivated. If you fight a fight and you unmotivated, you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be motivated. You know what I'm saying, to get in there and train and look out for everything, to strategize. You know what I'm saying? If you're not motivated, don't get in there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna look like crap. And I think Floyd was just at that point in his career where, he just wanted to take some time off. And then when he came back, Floyd is kind of like the only fighter I ever seen that didn't look like rusty. Like when he came back against Marquez, right? And
Yeah,
he didn't look rusty at all.
He's a
Like
so
gym rat.
didn't.
That's why.
Didn't miss a beat at all. Came back looked like the
his
same Floyd
timing,
that was before he left,
his
He
timing was there. The way he ducked and slip punches was there. His counters was there. He fucked Marquez up, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know who I was surprised that Tim Bradley was able to beat Juan Marquez. I was surprised by that. That's when I gave Tim his respect. You know what I'm saying?
boxed
'Cause
him. He boxed.
Yeah, I
That's what
Yeah. A
couldn't, I
happened.
few.
couldn't. Hmm.
Yeah. A few of
Yeah.
my friends. We were talking about boxing recently. Pull counter, and we were talking about the Klitschko brothers. And I said honestly, I think their perception would be different if they were in this era with Tyson Fury, AJ, and Deontay, because they didn't really have a lot of superstar guys. They had like good. They didn't really have a lot of superstar guys that were at their level. They had guys that were decent and good, that were contenders most of their careers, but they weren't really champions
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Do you think they're? Do you agree with me that their perception would have been by fans would have changed if they were in this era with Deontay, AJ, and uh and Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I think it
Refer.
probably been a little bit better. They didn't have the as guys that was about to fight to them, so it probably been a little bit better fights as far as fan pleasure. It probably been a little bit better, but they styles wasn't that good. All that jab and grab style, especially Vladimir. But Tally, man, I like to watch him fight. His style was a little bit more appealing than the style of Vladimir, man. Once he got with Manuel Stewart and implemented that jab and grab and then lean on the back of a dude's head and the back of his neck and stuff, and so you can take away his legs, and you kept it with the little 1-2.
Tyson Fury does the same shit.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury is a little bit more, his style a little bit more fan friendly, man. He got the jab, he got the punch, he can fight off the back foot, he can come forward, sit down on his punches. He got a little bit more versatility to his offensive game, man. Klitschko, man, Vladimir, he basically was a 2-punch fighter, 1-2, jab, right hand, jab and grab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, every time you throw some punches, I don't trust my chin, so I'm gonna smother your punches, grab you, and lean on the back of your head, and put all my weight on me so you can tire you out, and then I can hit you with that right hand later on and knock you out. That was his game plan pretty much every fight, and he was able to get away with it because there wasn't a lot of great fighters at that time of their era. Now they dominated for 10 years, Vladimir.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
gotta give him credit for
because
dominating for that long of a stretch, man. But there wasn't a lot of great fighters out there.
but
You
look
can't,
at the
and
skill.
see,
Look
you
at
can't
this.
blame him. You can't really blame him or Vitali for that. That there wasn't top level competition at the time that they were fighting. I don't know why fans blame them for that and stuff
I
like
don't think people blame, but you can't give them credit either, because until you have an opponent that's you see you can't be great until you beat another great fighter. So when you have great competition, it makes you great. It makes you rise to another level. And the problem with Klitschko is the skill level just got worse. You know what I'm saying? You
as he
got
got older.
when you got because Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying? The skill level, I mean, the skill level is just so it's just going lower and lower and lower. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got a kickboxer can come in and knock out Tyson Fury, knock down, the heavyweight champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? That is unheard of. That should have never happened. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, and
these guys,
Ngannou, that was embarrassing for boxing, to be
right,
honest.
that's what I'm saying. It's like these guys are not taking boxing seriously. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Guilty
they just
syndrome.
hustling. It's a lot of guys that's just hustling boxing. They're not serious about the sport. So now you got kickboxers thinking they can come over here, what I'm saying, just train and get it, what I'm saying, and win belts and stuff. They probably can now because the skill level is not the same. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not like really dedicated to the craft and learning this shit. So
Yeah, no, and I honestly I give Ngannou more credit than most people because people forget he was a top level amateur in Nigeria in boxing. He was an amateur in
oh
Africa.
yeah.
People forget that a top level amateur fighter. He just chose to go to MMA because I think he felt at the time there was probably more chances of getting bigger fights as a MMA fighter than less politics and stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
mean, you got
Tyson
I'm sorry.
Fury though, man. He fight down to his competition, man. Throughout his career, man, he's fought down to his competition. Otto Wallen and guys like that, had no business struggling with, and he do that. But it seems like when he fights the top fighters, but Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, even the Usyk fight, he lost that very close. He fought a good fight, especially in the middle part of that fight. When he fights the top level opponent, he rises to the occasion. But when he don't feel like they're on that level, sometimes he
That's what
don't
happens with
step up.
Tio. Tio's the same way. Tiafimo.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
king said, I thought the one guy who had the right game plan against Floyd was Victor Ortiz by trying to rough him up and headbutt him. He was such a mental midget. He completely lost that fight. Bro, that was the weirdest fight. Y'all remember that fight? That was
Oh,
the
Victor Ortiz,
Protect
Jesus.
yourself
yeah.
at all
Bro, that
times.
that was the
That's the number
one
one.
fight.
That's the number one rule you got to follow in that square circle. Protect yourself at all times. He looked into the referee and got hit with a 2-piece, got knocked out.
Yeah,
That's your fault.
Paloma. You got
Yeah.
Paloma. That was the one fight, man. And beyond, okay, boxing. This is something that we had been building up for like maybe 20 years. Watching Larry Merchant break, shit on fighters, shit on Floyd, shit on Roy, and when Mayweather said, "You don't know shit about boxing. I hope HBO fire you." That shit, boy, that what shit went. If there was internet back then, that shit would have went. It was social media that would have went viral, bro. I mean, that shit. People had been waiting for somebody to say that shit to Larry Merchant for years because he always ran his mouth like he was the only authority in boxing, right? And he was the man, he really was. But you know, he just always took these shots at Floyd, and Floyd and Roy would go out there, and he would act like, you know, they're not gonna go for it. Roy would end up knocking the guy out, or Floyd would end up knocking the guy out, and he end up looking stupid. And he'd never say, "I'm sorry." He'd never say, you know, "Hey, why don't you fight like this all the time?" You know, saying he would always, you know, have something to say. And so Floyd
Mhm.
finally
Like a
lit his ass
backhanded
up.
compliment, basically.
Right, right. And Floyd lit his ass up. He said, "You might as well go talk to Victor Ortiz. That's what you need to do." He said, "Because you don't know shit about boxing."
Yeah, yeah. Then Mercy tell Floyd talking about if I was 20 years younger, 25 years younger, I'll kick your ass or something. He tries to tell. He
Oh,
tell Floyd.
yeah, yeah. He said, "If
Yeah,
I was 20," and you see how that look that was on his face, like he had his
yeah,
eyes all popped open and shit. That's
yeah.
what.
He said,
Would you
yeah,
say
yeah.
Larry Merchant was a good announcer? It's just when he got around Floyd is when it got very biased and stuff like that.
Yeah. He didn't
I
really
see
like
a
boxing. He liked them
butterfly.
guys that come forward, throw a lot of punches. He liked them pressure fighters. Them guys that box, he didn't care for them boxers. Them guys that he didn't like the sweet science type of fighter. He didn't like them.
I like when he used to try to get deep and shit. I see a butterfly flying across the ring. I wonder what that means. It was like,
Yeah,
what in
remember he used to
the
end every HBO show. He had that. He'd go into this soliloquy and come with some stuff. You know, he'll end the whole HBO show coming to it. I guess they call it merchant. You know, I guess it's a summary of the whole night, and he'll break it down and talk about it. And then I just kind of look forward to that because let me see how you gonna put
Oh
this
yeah,
together.
yeah. That's the
My
only
favorite
thing that
announcer
Yeah,
is the guy
because
from Showtime that just recently retired. Not Farhood, his partner.
oh, you talking about where on Fox?
No,
Oh, you
Showtime.
talking about that dude
Oh,
who always be
Showtime.
saying that hip hop shit? What's that guy name?
Ronaldi.
I can't
Rinaldi.
remember.
You talking about the blow by blow guy, Rinaldi, or you talking about Al Bernstein?
Bernstein.
Yeah, I like Bernstein. Bernstein be fair. He
He's a
tries to
story.
be.
I like Bernstein.
The
Yeah, he
problem with
followed Ali's
Bernstein
career.
is he's dealing with corporate propaganda. Now he has to conform to it. Before he used to be more independent. So, but now to be able to fit into the game, now you're gonna have to go with the narratives. You're gonna
Were
have
you
to
guys
shit
big
on.
fans of Max?
Yeah, I like Max. I
Yeah,
like Max Kellerman,
I
man.
like Mac before he went.
I used to like that Friday night fights where they go to the studio and break down the big fights coming up. I used to like that.
I used to like Max before he went corporate. You know what I'm saying? Before he got the he settled in at HBO. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was the associate. You know what I'm saying, down there, he was telling the truth. He was telling nothing but the truth. But once
Yeah,
he
and
got
to me,
settled
the
in,
best boxer turn announcer is El Diamante. Uh,
man,
uh,
you crazy, because the best announcer of all time over everything and everybody was Howard
I was
Cosell, man.
consider. Yeah, I
oh
was.
Howard
no!
Cosell.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about of the current guys, the boxers that just became announcers.
Who Diamante work for? Who you work for? Where you work on the zone? Where you work at?
Showtime.
Well, Showtime out of boxing now though, so he must say working.
ESPN.
Oh, he
LT,
worked for Top Rank.
yeah, he's Raul Mark.
I
I
saw,
think
I
that's
saw Chris
Raul Marquez,
Algieri
right?
though. Ain't Chris Algieri doing ESPN now? I seen him do the fight last night. I said, look, Chris
You
Algieri.
know what I'm saying? Chris
He's moving on
Algieri
up
is
from Pro Box
he's
to
a pretty
ESPN.
he's a pretty good announcer. I mean, I like his breakdowns. I'm gonna tell you, and y'all may not agree with me, but Paula Malignaggi, Tim
Uh,
Bradley. Listen,
uh,
just listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. They know their boxing, bro. They know when they tell the truth and they ain't on that propaganda and they ain't trying to, on that agenda shit, they be giving some great breakdowns, bro. I'm talking about Keith Thurman, um, all these guys like that, man, they be giving some excellent inside breakdown shit. But it's just that when they get on that propaganda shit, when they get that bitch inside of them, saying them rivalries and all that stuff they got going on from because they just got done competing, saying they can't get rid of it off their back, what I'm saying?
the perfect
Bradley a lot.
example is the Devin Haney comment where he says Devin is just him with more money behind him. Remember
Oh, that
that
was Paul
comment?
Malignaggi.
Right,
Say, yeah, he
right.
said Devin Haney
No,
reminded
I'm
him
gonna
of
tell you what got
himself. Yeah,
Paulie.
he always say that.
I'm gonna tell you what got Paulie when Devin said, "I'll never let a white boy beat me." Boy, that's what got Paulie pissed off right there. You know what I'm saying? And because he just went through that shit with Adrian Bronner. You know what I'm saying? All that racial shit he went through with Bronner and Bronner. You know what I'm saying? So Paulie kind of got a chip on his shoulder about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a contentious ass fight between him and Adrian Bronner. And that was a close fight too. You know
Yeah,
what
a lot of some
I'm saying?
people thought Malignaggi won that fight.
Yeah,
I thought
because he was Paulie was crispy in that fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just Adrian just got more power than Paulie. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, Adrian
so
was coming up from
Adrian,
135. He jumped past 140, went from 135 to 147 to fought
and
Malignaggi. Malignaggi wasn't a real
and,
big welterweight. He was a guy coming up from the lower weights too, so it wasn't the
mhm.
advantage that people probably thought it was going in.
And then he used to wear that crazy ass hairstyle and shit, that punk ass hairstyle and
Oh,
stuff.
I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. That comb over, that Rico Suave haircut,
yeah,
kind of.
reaching his
He
hand,
looked like
all
a
that type of stuff.
he looked like a rooster or something. The way he used to wear his hat,
Yeah, he used to be
it's
flashy,
like,
old Paul. He used to be flashy, you know.
mm-hmm.
But like you say, he do know how to break down them fights. He's a good analyst on boxing, man. The in and outs, giving you the perspective from a former fighter's point of view. He's
Oh
very
yeah.
good. Him and Algier.
Oh
And like
man,
you say,
I'm
and
trying
Tim
to
Bradley.
tell you.
Sean Porter good
Yeah,
too.
man. They just got these hangups, man. You know what I'm saying? These old battles, and then they're company men at the same time. So they got to say what they have to say for the promotional company on the promotional
Hmm.
side. But you can see it in Bradley. He's got different
He's very
spots.
biased.
Oh yeah, he buys hell. You know what I'm saying? But he
I
got
wouldn't say
spots where he tell the
Polly's
truth.
Cash. I wouldn't say Polly's racist. I think
Oh, he
he
Italian. He come from Benhurst. He racist as hell. He from Benhurst. If you from Benhurst, you racist, bro. Them motherfuckers are like the Sopranos and shit. He grew up in the Soprano neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you ever see Do the Right Thing, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Go watch that movie by Spike Lee. That's that neighborhood. Paulie was raised in that neighborhood. He was raised in the mafioso area. You know what I'm saying? Where it's
Mhm.
all about racial pride and back then that's what it was all about. New York was split up. I mean, Philly and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? All them guys up there. It was just like a big, it's a melting pot, but still you go on one side of town, you're not accepted. You go on another side of town, you're not accepted. You go to Spanish Harlem, you're not accepted. So you gotta stay in your clan and your tribe. It done got better now, but shit, back
Yeah.
then you get your ass destroyed. You know what
But
I'm
the
saying?
comment about him and Devin, I don't think it's racist. I think it's just a chip on his shoulder type of thing. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
a
Didn't
like
Paulie say the white guy say the Ukrainians was ruling boxing? That shit had me rolling. I said I couldn't believe
Yeah,
he
he
said.
said Eastern Europeans that was running boxing because they disciplined and they laser focus and all that. They took over boxing and that wasn't even the case. Yeah, probably
I
he
was
was just
like,
saying
boy,
that.
I said, boy, you a super captain. I said, boy, oh, what is going on?
no. When I heard that comment, I saw that I think it was on his podcast that he said that. I'm like, this guy must be smoking some good shit. And
Oh
he said,
yeah, filter said I took his belt and his girl. That shit had me roll. That's what really got up under Paulie's skin. See, and it's something that you hold on to when people, because I think he really took a personal L with cause AB is a real asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's back then when he was really flamboyant, when he was brushing his hair and he fake proposed to his girl in the ring. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? That's what
wait a minute. What fight was this where he fake proposed?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I was like, who is this clown? This is when people first kind of like getting into AB, and he had his girl come to the ring, and then he got down on one knee, and then and at the last minute he got his brush to stop brushing his hair. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
He got,
yeah, I
got
remember
down
that.
like I was like, what in the hell? You know what I'm saying? That was just the old man inside me. I was just like, bro, that was lame as shit. You know what I'm saying? But you took a big swing at it, you know what I'm saying? And you don't
See,
give a fuck. So I don't give a fuck either.
see,
So
for me, when fan fans say that these Hispanic fighters don't know how to talk trash. Like English-speaking people that say these Hispanic fighters don't know how to talk trash. It's maybe because they don't If you don't understand what they're saying in Spanish, you're thinking they're not talking shit. but but the
No, I think certain fighters just want a certain they want to present themselves in a certain light. I
Mayorga is
think
a
they
perfect example. Mayorga,
mm,
remember how bad Mayorga? Who did he get in the head of during his fight? Like, which fight was that where he got in the head of the guy, saying all that disrespectful shit about "I'm gonna sleep with your mother" or "sleep with your wife" or whatever? Or was that
shit. Michael Organ did that to everybody. Shit, he got in Vernon Forrest's head. He used to beat Vernon. I could not understand how in the hell he could beat Vernon Forrest, but he couldn't beat Sugar Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? But Sugar Shane Mosley can brawl though. Vernon Forrest, he was just more of a traditional boxer. You know, he really couldn't brawl like that. But man, Mayorga used to just, he could get Vernon Forrest, but Vernon Forrest could destroy Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley couldn't beat Vernon Forrest to save his life. So it was just weird. That's just go to show you style make fight. So you
and
know,
another perfect example is Roberto Duran, the first fight against Sugar Sugar Ray Leonard. He got into Sugar Ray's head during the with all that stuff he was.
oh
Do you?
yeah, yeah. He was saying some wild shit though. Hey, he was saying some wild stuff, man. Roberto was saying a lot of crazy shit. To, and he knew.
Was Roberto disrespectful? Like, is he naturally a disrespectful guy, or was that just
No, I think he was just trying to get in the Sugar Ray head because, Sugar Ray, they built him up. Anytime like Earl Smith Jr. and when the public loves you, that's when you're the most hated. When the boxing fans love you, now you got a target on your back. And he was the Olympic darling, the golden boy from the Olympics. So, people want to tear his ass down. Roberto Duran had to get that shit out the mud. He's out here cutting sugar cane when he get out when he's not training. He's out here, like struggling. So a lot of people, Hagler had to get it out the mud. So a lot of those people who didn't have the Olympics to promote them. And a lot of people who came
that
through the
backing?
Olympics, yeah, they didn't get that promotion. They hated Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? So he just wanted to show him that he wasn't better than him. And that's Sugar Ray Leonard let him get in his head, and
I think
wanted
that's what happened with honestly Oscar. To be honest, I think that's what happened with Oscar with Tito. Oscar was the golden boy with the Olympics and stuff like that, and Tito. I don't think Tito was an Olympic fighter, was he? Did he go to the Olympics?
I don't remember here. I don't remember hearing nothing about it. But the thing
No,
with I think, but Oscar beat Tito. Go back and watch that fight on your own. He beat Tito. It's just that I mean, he cruised. I thought he should have fought the last three fights, but he cruised. What I'm saying? I don't think Tito was ever in the fight like that. He started coming on at the end, but he didn't
yeah,
win enough rounds to be able to beat Oscar. But I guess they penalized him for not engaging because
yeah.
all Oscar did was run around the ring the last three rounds, and they were like, "Fuck that, you lost." You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Why,
"Fuck
why,
that."
why, why did Oscar, man, people need to ask Oscar, why did he do that? Did he run out of gas, or did he
No,
think he had to fight
I think
one, or
I
was he
think he,
worried or the power got caught with something before that and
yeah,
said,
yeah,
let me just go on,
yeah,
stay out of harm's way because I don't want to get hit with that shot again. Maybe I could get knocked
exactly.
out on the head,
That's
and let me just go
he
and
didn't
skate
want to
by.
give Teal the opportunity to knock him out. So what he did was he started running and boxing and throwing occasional jab here and there, and the judges frowned upon that shit. They're like, hell no, no, we ain't gonna let you do that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I thought he won what probably 8, 9 rounds. You know what I'm
One
saying?
eight
But
four nine three, yeah.
yeah, I mean, Tito didn't. He started coming on at the end, but I don't think he had enough to win. He didn't knock Oscar down or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think Oscar learned a lesson in that fight because he started going back to his old style after that. He started getting away from that boxing shit and stopped brawling like he used to. You know, I
Yeah,
felt
and
bad for.
Leonard actually recently, like, this was Leonard said this like a few years ago. He said if he let if he had let if he had let Duran actually properly train, he would have lost the second fight actually. But he called for the rematch right away, and Duran wasn't prepared. He was partying too much, and there was actually rumors that he was shitting his pants during the fight. That's that's why he said that, like, he had like food poisoning or something, and he that's why he said the no moss thing, because he couldn't deal with shitting himself during the fight.
Yeah, I just think, man, he was just like you said, he was frustrated with the whole situation. And like I said, Sugar Ray did a strategic, brilliant move, getting that fight 6 months after the first fight. While you said, like you said, Duran was partying in Panama, sleeping with all kind of strippers and having a good time out there, drugs and all that. I think he got up to around about 200 pounds, they said, and he had to lose all that weight, get back
255
down to 147. And then Don King was his promoter. Don King was, he looking at the money. So he rushed him back into that ring and agreed to whatever Sugar Ray them and his team agreed to on that date. And he didn't have enough time to properly prepare. So I think he said, the hell with it. He said, I'm going to try to go in here and knock this guy out. If I can't knock him out, I'm just going to say the hell with it. He couldn't knock out Sugar Ray because Sugar Ray wasn't fighting this same fight he fought in the first fight. He was on his bicycle, staying out, moving and stuff like that, using his athleticism on Duran. I think Duran just got frustrated with the whole thing and said, man, the hell with this, and quit. I think that's what actually happened. He frustrated with Don King and frustrated with the whole situation that put him in that
Well,
position.
the same thing with Hagler. I mean, you think Sugar Ray Leonard would have fought Hagler if he didn't fight John the Beast Mugabe? You know what I'm saying? He was sitting out there, front row, watching that fight, and that fight tore into Hagler so much, man. That fight was such a war that he felt like Hagler had slowed down enough that where he could handle it. He would have never fought Hagler before he fought John the Beast Mugabe. You know what I'm saying? Because
Did
fighters
did he
know
fight
how.
Hearns?
Huh?
Who that?
Did
Who?
did uh did Sugar Ray ever fight Tommy?
Fight
Yeah,
Herman? Yeah, he fought him
quite a few
twice.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that Mugabe fight took a lot out of Hagler. He took a lot of punishment. He was able to, come back and win that fight after taking some punishment and stop Mugabe. But that was a brutal fight. And Sugar Ray Leonard, like you said, he was working for HBO, commentating that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that and he said, it's the time to jump on him now. But still, you got to give
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Ray a lot of credit. Even with him looking at Hagler not being the same fighter, he had been out the ring 2.5 years. So he didn't know if he was going to be the same fighter anywhere close to it. So he's able to do that and come back. And no matter how you thought the fight should have went, it was a very close competitive fight. And that was that was a testament to Sugar Ray Leonard's mindset going into that fight to make that fight that close, man, and get the split decision coming off a 2.5 year hiatus.
Well, they should have known that. I mean, see, the Hagler problem was he thought Sugar Ray was gonna try to fight him like Hearn did. See, Sugar Ray, he wasn't gonna fight Hagler. You know what I'm saying? He was
Oh,
gonna box Hagler. And see,
yeah,
Hearn problem was he wanted to fight Hagler. He wanted to knock Hagler out. You know what I'm saying? And that was the
yeah,
difference. Sugar Ray came in and said, "No, I know I can't knock this dude out. You know what I'm saying? I'm fit to do my thing." And I think Hagler was pissed because he tried to, he kept calling Ray a little bitch and
yeah.
stuff
Stop
during the
running, you little
fight.
bitch.
Stop,
Yeah.
you little bitch. You know what I'm saying? And Hagler was like, Sugar said, I said, no.
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard shaking his head, saying, I ain't fighting your fight. I'm
No,
fighting my fight tonight.
that's right. That's what's up. Because Hagler ain't playing that southpaw shit. That nigga either hand knock your ass out. Nah, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'm fit to do me. You know what I'm saying? He said, dude talk too much but fight scared. Said he's skilled but definitely overrated. Hmm. And he said even Mayweather's more entertaining and engaged. He said he saw Mayweather chin to Mayweather chin got a tough. Mayweather just had so many intangibles that a fighter needs to be great, and he just capitalized on it. He was just more dedicated than everybody else that was around him, and that's what made him great. He got that family, that boxing family. I think Boots can do the same thing, but we got to see if he's going to stay disciplined. That 1 year out the ring showed that he was a little off in that fight that he fought. You could see his timing was off. You could see him taking more punches. His defense was off. Um, you know what I'm saying? And you could see he could be affected by hometown pressure. You know what I'm saying? So, he
Yeah.
got some more learning to do. He's not the total package. Right now, he's not the total package. He's got some shit to work on. You know what I'm
He
saying? He
definitely do.
definitely
He definitely do. He supposed to be coming back in November too, so he should be coming back in November on the zone. Be against somebody in the top 10 in the IBF. It ain't gonna be Crawford. I know a lot of people want to see Crawford or somebody like that. It's not gonna be Stayonis or somebody Mario Barrios. I think them two guys gonna end up fighting each other with the PBC. So he'll probably fight somebody inside the top 10 at IBF. They had a guy that fought on that August 3rd card. Well, when they had the weigh-in or whatever they had that Wednesday, and they had a couple of fights on that Wednesday night or whatever it was. They had a guy
Mhm.
that was a welterweight. I can't remember his name, but he's Eastern European guy. He's from the same area that Madronov is from. He's an undefeated welterweight. I think his name is Jayaso. Well, he fought on another card. He fought a Spanish guy, and he beat him by decision. So
Mhm.
I think he ranked like in the top 10 IBL. That might be a possible opponent for Boots in November. But yeah, Boots coming back in November. Like you said, you got to stay active, get a good fight in November, get a win. After that fight in November, man, you need to start chasing them big names, man. If you can't get Barrios or Stayonis, then move up to 154 because they got a lot of top names at 154 you can fight. And let's make 2025 Jerome Boots in his show for 2025, man. You step up, man, get some big fights. Madronov, y'all got the same promoter. You can fight a Madronov or a Bohachunk or somebody like that, man, at 154. Tim Zoo,
Yeah.
you got a lot of
I
good
think
names up
Dark
there that he
Kent,
can fight.
Dark Kent say he should fight Bohachunk. And he need to get in where he fit in, really. I mean, anybody up there, Danny Garcia, Eric
Mm-hmm.
Lupin.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys he could fight up there. Jamel Charlo's coming back. 154 is the best division right now in boxing. So I mean, you got Frank Martin moving up to 140. That's going to be interesting. And see what he could do up there at 140. So there's a lot of changing going on in the background. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank is probably going to stay at 135. He might Tank now. If Tank moved to 140, it'd be interesting. That'd be some
He
interesting
might go
shit
up to
going down.
140 to fight Rayo. That's the only person I see him maybe going up to 140 to fight maybe a Rayo. But if he don't fight a Rayo, he might stay at 135 and fight De Los Santos. I think that's probably gonna be the next fight for Tank. And that'll be in November too. November 23rd.
That's a dangerous fight. I think Tank could knock him out, but that's still a dangerous fight. You know.
Yes,
Um,
that'd be an explosive fight for however long it lasts. It'll be a very exciting, very explosive fight between them two guys.
oh
But like I say,
yeah,
take us get them up out of there, probably somewhere in the middle part of the fight, round 6,
but your boy,
round 7, somewhere in there.
how do you guys feel about this Williams Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson?
I think that's a good stylistic matchup for Shakur. I think Shakur is a selective puncher. He's basically gonna throw one punch at a time, and when you throw anything back, he's gonna be trying to get out of harm's way. He's not looking to try to counter you. He's looking to try to stay out of harm's way. But I think with Zepeda, the way he throw his punches, he come forward and he come in a straight line, so he don't really have too much deception to his come forward style. I think that style is tailor made for Shakur Stevenson to
Mm.
look good and showcase his skills. So I like
Kind
that fight for Shakur.
kind of look like it's kind of going to look like Oscar Valdez. I think. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think it's gonna look like that Oscar Valdez fight. Where
Yep.
because Mexicans, they do well when somebody engage when the other side engage with them. You know what I'm saying? They meet head to head. They do good in brawls. Marquez is probably one of the best Mexican boxers I've seen that just, mix of boxing and brawling style, you know what I'm saying, perfectly. You don't find too many of those in there. Or Jermaine Ortiz. What is Jermaine Ortiz? What is he?
He's
Is
140
he
pounds.
no, I'm talking about his race. What is he?
He's from the United States, but I think he may be Puerto Rican descent. But I think he's
Okay.
from Ecuadorian descent. But he's from the West Coast, I believe, Arizona, somewhere in
Yeah.
the area.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying to think about what Mexican like boxing and what I'm saying, use boxing, and brawl and just kind of mix it pretty good together. You know what I'm saying? Like besides Bam or somebody like that, that can box and brawl. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Vergil
But
Ortiz can do it when if he don't let his emotion get carried away, he can do it. He can box and brawl too. Vergil Ortiz Jr. So it's probably him and Bam Rodriguez, probably the top two guys
I think
that
I
fight that
think
style.
Virg, I think Virgil do himself in his career. You know what I'm saying? A big favor if he run this fight back. I think he need to. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't think nobody's convinced that he won it or separated himself. So I think he really need to run this fight back with Bohachuk, you know what I'm saying? And before he, try to go to Tim Zoo or anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? Run this fight back. Um, let the people know that you ain't scared and that you ain't afraid to run it back that you might lose, you know what I'm saying? Be a real champion. Show them, you got heart. We saw that, you're coming back, but really most people think that Bohachuk won that fight. So if I was him, that's be the first thing I'll be saying in the post press conference. I'm running this shit back. And that's what, Floyd would do. That's what, the great ones would do. They would run it back if there was
Yeah,
any controversy that,
yeah.
the other guy won, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I think he should do. I don't want to see him fight anybody else
Crawford.
but this.
You want to see him fight Crawford? Because that's a fight
Nope.
Turkey with.
I think Crawford destroyed him. I don't think he. I think he need another fight with this guy to be able to fight Crawford.
Yeah, the
He need
thing
to be
about it
more.
is Yeah, the thing about it is Turkey. He gonna do another big USA card in February. I don't know if he's gonna do it around about the same time they do the Super Bowl. Maybe that week before Super Bowl, or maybe that Saturday before Super Bowl. But they talking about doing a big US card. You got to have a big name. At Crawford Maginov, that was a good card, but Maginov didn't really have no name. So if you put Crawford as the main event, man, you got to have a strong B side. Victor Ortiz, he fits that bill. They need somebody like a Victor Ortiz, or at the very minimum, Tim Zoo. At least he got a country in Australia behind him. You can't have no another guy who really ain't nobody really know if you're gonna do a big card like that. You talking about putting Shakur and Zapata on as the co-main, and that's a good card. And having a strong card like he had August 3rd. But Crawford need to be in there with a bigger name than he was August 3rd. Because imagine he brought a belt, but that was it, man. He ain't had no name. I know him, you know him, but a lot of the casual boxing fans really didn't know who he is. So I don't think they can do that again. Based on what
Well,
they reporting as far as the pay-per-view
wise,
buys, they only did 125,000 pay-per-view buys. So you need a big name in there with Crawford. They really need to get Boots in there, really. Boots, I heard he come back in November. He gonna be at 147. So I don't think that's plausible for him to come back in November and come back and fight in February. A fighter of a level of a Crawford. But I think it need to be a big name in there with Crawford. It can't be no Majinov's level fighter with that type of name recognition, because it's gonna
well,
do bad numbers.
well, the way Crawford was talking about the fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he getting 15 million for the fight. I'm thinking he getting big money. And come to find out he made $2.5 million for the fight. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, wait a minute. You
Yeah, he
you
ain't been
calling how much money you made with Earl Spence Jr. versus how much you made with this bullshit here? You know what I'm saying? It's like you could have fought Jamel Charlo, my nigga, and made more money than that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You could have made these little urban fights that you're talking about. You ain't getting no international acclaim. As a matter of fact, if you look at all the boxing writers, they're saying you look terrible during that fight. And I didn't think he looked terrible, but that's what they writing the shit up as. That you look terrible, you look horrible. And it's like, bro, all this notoriety, that this love that Crawford wants from the other side is ridiculous. He need to be making real fights, the real big fights. You know what I'm saying? With the fighters that people know and respect. The Jamel Charlos, the Earl Spence Juniors, the Fandora. I know Fandora wouldn't fight him, but he need to be fighting the top dudes that everybody know, you know what I'm saying, and then go from there. All this international acclaim he's talking about, that shit is, what I'm saying, that ain't nothing, man. It's like, I don't know. He's always looking at it from a weird perspective. You know what I'm saying? I think the one good move he did make was getting with Turkey Al because I think he's gonna, be able to make fight for Crawford or whatever, given his mindset and how he looks at things and stuff. I think he's probably one of the one dudes that could probably work with Crawford and get him to fight in the ring. Um, Other than that, You know what I'm saying? Crawford need to go back to his roots, man. He need to, get back, get that rematch. These are the fights that people want to see Crawford fight. Boots, you know what I'm saying? Fight that Boots fight and bring him up to 154. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't know what Boots gonna look like at 154. You know what I'm saying? And he already getting acclimated to 154. He already had one fight at 154. Bring Boots up to 154 and take the fight up there. And I think that'll be good for Crawford. You know, other than that, you know what I'm saying? If he's going to retire, go and retire. You know, because I
Yep.
don't see too many more options for what he's looking for. Canelo definitely is not going to give him the fight. Canelo is doing his own thing. He don't care what nobody say. He don't care what the Turks say. He don't care what the fans say. So he's off the board. He's on his own, doing his own thing. So it just is what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Canelo and Tank, they kind of don't really need Turkey. They produce numbers on their own. They getting big back end money on the pay per view, so they over there working with the PBC. So, Turkey Alashiki, they really don't need
Hmm.
them. Turkey Alashiki don't really need them either. So they both are kind of in their own different lanes, doing their own thing. So Turkey gonna continue to put on big fights that a lot of the hardcore boxing fans want to see, and Canelo them and Tank, they continue to put on big fights. No matter who they fight, it's gonna be a big fight because they're involved in it. So they'll continue to do that over there in the PBC.
Hmm.
But
So right now we just got a big hole until we see Errol Spence Jr. get it on, and he just taking. I mean, I don't. He got a lot to deal with, but it's like he's just taking too long to get in the game. So it's time for him to pop back in the game. Saying he be taking these long ass breaks and stuff. Saying, and his shit be falling apart. So I really don't know what he be having going on. Saying besides being a fighter, what else the hell you got to do? Until your career is over, man, you shouldn't be having all these goddamn problems, man. This has got cataracts and shit, and all of a sudden, this stuff popping up, like, bro, you can't let this shit ride. Whatever you got going on, you got to get right for the fight. So now it's just like, we just got to wait to see what he got left. If he can get past Fedora. Um, I mean, if if he looks, you don't just want him to get past Fedora. You want him to be dominant um, in the fight with Fedora. If he just kind of like, get just basically, get like a split decision and it's a controversial type shit, it's gonna be difficult for EJ.
Yeah. He supposed, like you say, he supposed to be fighting Fedora. That fight was supposed to be in October, but I don't think it's gonna be in October. They ain't even done no kind of,
But they
like I
say
say, I don't think.
November. They say November, December now. They
Well,
keep pushing the shit. Hmm.
yeah, maybe December because Tank fighting in November. I don't think they're gonna do two pay-per-views in November. Tank fighting in November 23rd. So if it ain't October, it's probably either December or maybe the first quarter of 2025. They waiting on the WBO to make a decision on the Crawford being the mandatory. What Crawford gonna do? Is he gonna try to pursue that, or Crawford gonna try to pursue another fight with another fight with Ortiz or somebody like that? If that's the case, then I guess Fedora may be able to hold on to that WBO belt, and then him and Spence will be for the WBC and the WBO junior middleweight titles. So I think that's what they're
What
trying
what
to wait on.
what did you think of Andy Cruz fight? What did you think about that? You saw Andy Cruz?
Yeah, I seen that. Andy looked good, man. Some people said he got hurt. He did get caught with some shots, but when you offensive mind and you trying to make a statement and put on a show, you got Shakur Stevenson out there in the crowd watching the fight. So you trying to put on a impressive fight to maybe get a fight down the road with Shakur. So he was trying to make some things happen, aggressive, and got caught with a counter and got hurt. But after he got hurt, he reestablished back control of the fight, man, and went in there and stopped the guy. So it was a good performance in my opinion.
Yeah,
Moran, I know he
yeah.
got
I
knocked
thought
out
it.
by Haney. But that was several years ago, man. Fights can get better from one fight to the next, or from a couple of fights ago, they can get better. So I thought it was a good performance
See,
by Cruz.
Andy Cruz. I think Andy, he's facing a little bit of adversity, and I think that's good for him because by the time he meet Keyshawn Davis, I think he's gonna surpass Keyshawn Davis because Keyshawn's still fighting them, saying them low level dudes, and until he step it up, and fight a name and beat a name. And right now he's hunting. He's knocking on Frank Martin door, but Frank Martin moving up to 140. Um,
Yeah,
until he fight like a Frank Martin level or Mikhail Riviera type of opponent, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what we got with Keyshawn. You know, he's still bullshitting around. And see, if you look at the way Abdullah Mason's moving, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's not fighting the top competition, but he's trying to get there. He's trying to move right through it. And you could tell if he come across any top competition, he's gonna go for it. He's not gonna be bullshitting around. If he could fight, I believe Abdullah Mason to fight Andy Cruz before Keyshawn Davis would. You see what I'm saying? I think Abdullah Mason would fight Frank Martin before Keyshawn Davis would fight Frank Martin. And I just see this businessman inside of Keyshawn Davis. I think he got great skill. I think he could be a great fighter, but I don't think he has the mentality of just fighting everybody. You know, so I think he just want to fight certain fights. Um, and that's not just shitting on him, you know. That's just what he's given. You know what I'm saying? That just seemed like that's the kind of dude he is. Like, you know, he'll just take, you know, he won't tank. He just want the top money fights. And instead, he don't want to fight those journeymen. He don't want to fight those in between guys. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight them dudes that may knock his ass off. And but I think Abdullah Mason is that dude that's just going to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's going to. I think these younger guys are going to surpass him. Shoo. I think Shoo. He want to fight in a way. Um, but Keyshawn don't seem to have that same kind of mentality. Even though he puff himself up, buck his eyes, but he's not calling out. You know what I'm saying, the names. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, you know, he'll get Frank Martin or he'll get somebody to see what he looked like and see if he will see what he's working with. See if he that dude, you know what I'm saying? I want to see him and Andy Cruz
yeah,
meet and see, you know, what they can pull out of each other. I think that'd be a hell of a fight. I think that's his rival. That I think that's his destiny. And he should meet his destiny. He should, you know, stop trying to spread himself all over the place, trying to be the black Ryan Garcia, talking all kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Just settle down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, dilate them eyes or something, because he keep bucking them eyes and shit. You know, I'm like, God damn, why you keep doing this shit? You know,
yeah.
get a haircut. You
Yeah, you
know,
know, Keyshawn, man, he a character, man. I like his, you know, he got a good mouthpiece on him. You know, he talk a lot of trash, and he's a good self promoter because you know he with Top Rank, man. Top Rank ain't really promoting nobody. They
yeah,
ain't promote Crawford. They ain't promote. They don't promote. They ain't promote Tim Brad. They ain't promote a whole lot of people. So he doing a good job of promoting himself, keeping himself, you know, available to when he makes these videos and stuff like that. Get on Instagram talking this trash stuff like that. He do a good job promoting himself. Now I heard that he got a fight coming up in Norfolk, Virginia. His hometown will be his next fight. So he's gonna be fighting probably a guy that's ranked. And I think what Top Rank doing, man, he's setting the stage up for him to fight Berinicek. You know, Berinicek got the WBO title,
yeah.
and I think Keyshawn ranked like in the top 5 of the WBO. I think number 3, but it's inside the top 5. He's ranked. So I think they're gonna get him another fight in his hometown against somebody in the top 10, top 15 of the WBO. He get the win over that opponent. I think they're gonna set up a fight in 2025 for him to fight for that WBO belt. Now that Shakur and left Top Rank, I think they setting it up for Keyshawn to be their next guy they try to promote in those lower weights. So if he's
Hmm.
able to get a belt, and then now you're in position to kind of call out Tank. Right now you can't call out Tank. You really ain't got no. You got a profile, but you don't have a
Yeah.
big enough profile, and you don't have a belt. Get you a belt, and then you can start calling now. You be like, oh, I got a belt. You got WBA. I got the WBO. Let's unify Tank. Then you have some legs to stand on calling out Tank. But him calling out Tank right now is crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you
And
something. People don't already fell in love with Abdullah Mason. He gonna have a problem. He's gonna have a stardom problem with Abdullah Mason, because everybody, he got that style. He knocking out folks, and you know that's gonna be his rival right there at Top Rank, because every time Abdullah Mason go out, you know what I'm saying, he's producing exciting fights. And you know, even I think it was Kenny Ellis that hurt
Keyshawn, yeah, I think that.
Keyshawn. He hurt him to the core when he called out Medulla Mason as being, you know, saying that dude and stuff at 135 that's coming up. And he was like, hold on. Why you I was like, hey, bro, it just is what it is, man. You know, Medulla
Yeah,
Mason got that eye of the tiger, man. It's like you up here clowning and shit. You know what I'm saying? Medulla Mason's out here destroying motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Bro, you know what the hell you doing? You on some clown shit, bro. You go after these names and get them in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And stop
yeah,
playing. You know,
yeah. Abdullah Mason,
Medulla Mason.
you know, Abdullah got a
Mhm,
fight coming up this Saturday. He fighting on the
mhm.
undercard of that Billy Devachenko fight coming up this Saturday, and they're gonna be on ESPN, ESPN Plus. He fighting on the undercard. I think it's another 6 round or 8 round fight now. Mason, man, they're gonna have to top rank need to go on after this. This need to be the last 6 round, last 8 round fight for Abdullah, man. It's time for you to get to the 10 round fights, man. It's time
But
because
they don't make it
he's skilled
though.
enough,
They don't.
advanced enough to get fight 10 round fights against maybe a top 20, top 25 guy.
Well, they don't
You know.
make it to 6 rounds. He be knocking their ass out in three. He be knocking their ass out. They don't make it to them
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
rounds.
yeah. Yeah, he doing a good job. He looking impressive. I'm just saying because when you schedule 6 round, 8 round fights, that means you a prospect. You fight prospect level fights. Because there ain't no
Yeah,
contenders fighting no 6 or 8 round fights. That's what I'm saying. He need to go on. They need to go on. You know, he gonna knock the guy
yeah,
out. But I'm saying he need to go and put him in the 10 round status, and so they can go on, stamp him as a this is a contender. This is a rising young contender. Now we're gonna put him in 10 round fights against a little bit better competition
mhm,
and let him see what he can do as far as taking those type of fights. I'm sure he's gonna be able to stop those guys too. But when you fighting 6 and 8 round fights, man, Keyshawn, he about to fight for a belt probably his next after this fight is after this fight in his hometown. He probably gonna be fighting for a belt. So if you want to get Abdullah a little bit more further progress, then you probably need to start putting him in 10 round fights. You know.
yeah,
That's my only issue with.
yeah,
I like Abdullah, man. He look impressive, man. He got a mean streak, man. He get them guys up out of there. He don't play around with you. If you don't deserve to
that's,
be in the ring with him, he gonna get you up out of there. You ain't going to distance with
yeah,
me because you ain't on my level. So I like
yeah,
Abdullah. I
yeah.
mean, it's time for him to
He
go to
big.
10 round fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling him the babyface assassin.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to him,
Cause
man. He
then,
gonna be on the undercard. I don't know if he gonna be on the ESPN Plus part or what, but he on that Billy Devachenko card this Saturday from Canada. He on that undercard. So I'm definitely gonna check him out this Saturday and see how he look.
so yeah, I'm a big Shushu fan too. I like the way Shushu fights, man. He got extraordinary skill up in there, man. It's like, I just want them to have some good competition and to keep the streak going. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Inoue, but I know Inoue's small and but they trying to work his ass up the ladder. Inoue, you know what I'm saying? Right now he's still, in Japan with that bullshit. You need to bring
He
that shit
fighting a
over here.
trash fighter too. His next fight, he fighting that dude BJ. That's a trash fight. TJ Dahana, where that guy is? That guy's horrible. He
Mm,
gonna knock that. If that guy make it past the 3rd round, man, something wrong. That's a horrible fight. But I'm gonna give him a pass because he been fighting top level competition. He fought Scooter. He fought who else he fought? He been fighting some top guys. So I'm gonna let him. I guess he allowed one little tune up, one little showcase fight for him. But after that, man, it's time to get back to fighting the top guys like you've been doing. I don't want to see no another TJ after this fight coming up. You need to get up in there with like you say, Shushu or one of them other champions at 122. You need to start trying to unify or move up to 126 and start looking at Espinosa and guys like that. That's what I want to stop fights. I want to see in. I don't want to see no more of this. What I'm about to get this next fight. That's a gross mismatch. The guy he fighting. So that ain't worth getting up at 4 in the morning to watch that. I hear
yeah.
about that the next day. Maybe watch it on YouTube to playback, but I ain't getting up in no 4 in the morning to watch that mess. Cause I already know what's gonna happen. That's gonna be a destruction inside 3 rounds. That guy there ain't
Mhm.
nowhere on the level of he ain't nowhere on the level of none of in a way last 6, 7 fights, man. This dude ain't even Donaire. And Donaire at 40. He ain't even good as Donaire at 40. This is
Yeah,
a
I don't
horrible.
even. I mean, I don't even talk about that nigga, man, because he ain't nowhere, what I'm saying, in the stratosphere unless he fight Fulton again. I don't even want to see his ass. It's like I want to see that I want to see Fulton get that rematch. Um, Dark Kent, yeah, man. It's like it's depressing talking about what's because Spence goes so radio silent, man, about what he doing and everything. So you never get no update status on what saying what's going on with his camp or what's going on with him. Frank definitely ain't gonna breach that. You know, sometimes he'll say little things like EJ is traveling or stuff like that, but you just never know what's going on with EJ or what he's doing. He's so damn quiet, and so it's hard to kind of follow him and everything. So, but he's still one of the top dudes. What I'm saying, but it's just hard to get behind him because you just don't know how he moving.
Talking about
So I mean,
Fortune? You talking about
no, I'm
Fortune,
talking
right?
about no, I'm talking about
In a way.
EJ.
Oh,
No,
EJ. Oh,
EJ.
Errol, yeah. Yeah, Errol, he
Yeah,
probably gonna fight for Dura, but they just waiting on the WBO. They trying to see if they trying to hold on to that belt. They don't want to lose that strap. They're not gonna
yeah.
fight
That's what
Crawford, but they don't want to lose that strap, so they trying to hold on to that WBL. They hoping Crawford go in another direction, which allows him to hold on to that WBO. Because if Crawford exercises super champ status that he got at 147, he can force that fight to happen, or they'll strip him from Dura. So I think they're kind of trying to wait on that to clear up before announcing the fight with Spence. But he fights Spence next. It's just a matter of it's going to be at the end of this year or early 2025. If I had to bet, I think it's probably going to be early 2025. But I heard that Benavidez, he coming back in December on a pay-per-view. So you got Tank fighting in November, and you got Benavidez fighting in December. So I'm thinking if Errol and Fedor don't fight in October, they probably going to push that fight back to January, probably, because you don't want to go in February, because I think Crawford is probably going to be on a pay-per-view in February with Turkey. That's probably going to be a loaded card. You probably wouldn't want to go in a pay-per-view in February. So I would imagine maybe October, if not October, maybe January for Spence and Fedor in Cowboy
But
Stadium.
it's just frustrating. I want to know. I want things you want to know. Who is training Spence? You know what I'm saying? What is he? Who is on his team right now? You know what I'm saying? It's like you just have no idea what's going on with that. But he's a big piece of the puzzle, what I'm saying, that's happening at 154, if it's all gonna come together. So, if we can get Boots up there at 154, because there's nothing for him at 147. There's just nothing down there for him. Maybe Stanionis, maybe. Um, if
Yeah, I
they
think
would
Stan
feed.
Jonas and Barrios going to fight. They for the unify at 147.
And
So
Boreos is getting a lot of fights, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just surprised that he's getting a lot of experience in. You know what I'm saying? He's just in a good position right now. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else is kind of falling on the wayside, like Crawley. Crawley, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's just like we can't seem to get the top guys, saying to go ahead and get in the ring and go ahead and knock themselves off. Or, what I'm saying? So if I was Boots, man, I wouldn't even waste my time with 147. I would just move up there where all the legends at, what I'm saying? The Danny Garcias, go Eric Lubins, just go through their ass, just going up there, and all he would have to fight really is one or two fights, and he'll be fighting for a belt. You know what I'm saying? That's you got Conwell. I don't know how Conwell's gonna fit into the 154 situation. He's gonna have to fight somebody. Conwell is a dangerous guy.
yeah,
You
you saw that body shot, that liver shot, that was nasty last night. That liver
know,
shot, he
man,
knocked that guy. What's that guy named? Gary Gray, whatever his name is. With that vicious
nasty,
body shot,
nasty work,
paralyzed.
nasty work. But
Ooh.
we don't know how good he's, until he fight, Tim Zoo, or till he fight, one of the premier guys. You know what I'm saying? He's still just Conwell. But he said he want to fight one of the winner. He wanted to fight Virgil. He's the winner. He wanted to fight the winner out of that fight. But really, Virgil he got more business to handle with this guy. He need to go back, run that back, and then Conwell need to fight maybe a Eric Lubin. He needs to fight a Eric Lubin. All of the what's the name from Philly with the glass jaw? All of them guys gone. Hurt. All of them guys gone. So Banana, he's got the body problem. So it thinned out just a little bit. But you got Conwell coming in. You got more guys coming in at 154, up from 147. Spence, Danny Garcia. So it's restacking itself. You know what I'm saying? It's reorganizing and everything. But they all need to stop fighting. You know what I'm saying? They all need to, stop trying to pick and choose. Go ahead and get in there and see who the best is. And I think that'll be the best moving forward, because, you could just skip over 147 right now. It's kind of a dead division. Um, Devin need to get his ass back in the ring. I mean, we got a lot of fighters, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we need to get these fights going. Um, it's just too many fighters, and I don't know if it's the venues that's short or what's going on, but there's a lot of fights that could be made that we could be watching. You know what I'm saying, on the weekend. So it's just that these fighters they taking these breaks, and I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, you're only young once, and you're wasting. You know, what I'm saying your vitality. You're wasting your youth. You know, what I'm saying when you're taking a year break off, and you're losing your skill set. You know, what I'm saying when you're doing that. So I don't know, man. It's just kind of weird. This boxing shit is just kind of weird right now. He says there are other 154 pounders are building stock as far as draw powers because they putting on solid fights. Spence has to come with it and stay top dog as far as pay per view. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Dark Kent. He said Conwell's a beast. Maybe that would be that'll be a good fight right there for Jamel Charlo to come back to maybe a Conwell or somebody like that because he got to get his chops back. He's got to get back into the running. I saw him punching on the bag, and he did. I know he was working on something, but he wasn't fluid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just working on the stamina of feeling the punch on the bag or whatever. But he didn't look like the old Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He just, I'm just kind of worried about Jamel right now. What kind of mental state that he's in right now? Him and his brother. So they don't seem like the Lions only that was running boxing just 4 years, 3 years ago. They just seem different now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Look like they kind of.
he had some problems with his wife and stuff. They had like he got charged with a battery against his wife, domestic violence against his wife. But I think they didn't got back together now. They didn't hash out their problems, so he be back with his wife. So now he's back training. Now, if I'm the PBC, I probably try to put him in there with a decent opponent in his first fight, try to get his feet wet, knock some of the rustiness off, and then after that, I try to put him in there with a big fight against one of the top guys at 154. Probably start him out though with maybe a Brian Mendoza. Come back against a Brian Mendoza, beat him. Then after that, then
Mm,
you start talking about fighting a Crawford or Vergil Ortiz or
mm,
Conwell or guys like that, Madronoff, Bohachunk, guys like that. After that, but get you a win. After being out the ring for a while, that you've been in the ring since you lost to Canelo. So make
mm,
sure everything is okay at 154. You still got the power. The weight going back down in weight ain't hurt you at all. You still fighting at a high level at 154, but you need to kind of gauge yourself against a lesser opponent. You don't want to try to gauge that against a high level
right,
opponent. Gauge that against a
right.
Brian Mendoza, get that win, and then chase the big names at 154 after the Mendoza fight. That's what I would do.
Yeah, yeah. So well, there's a lot of possibilities. I just hate the lull and the wait between, what I'm saying, the super fights. But there's a lot of good fights that could be made. I miss those like, what I'm saying, those little in between fights, those good little matchups, like a Danny Garcia versus Laura that's going to be coming up and on Canelo's card. Those are good fights. Those are good solid fights. You know what I'm saying? It's like I miss those. I think Caleb Plant is fighting on Canelo's card.
Yeah, he fighting
So
Trevor
no,
McCumbin.
yeah, he's fighting. Yeah, so he's fighting on that card. So these guys got to get off their ass. I know they enjoying their money, but shit, what I'm saying, it's like they getting older. Especially Plant and they need to get it on. I don't know what the hell Better Beeve is doing. I mean, he done postponed the fight. Now nobody ain't talking about nothing. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying
fighting
up there.
October 12th though. They fight it's October 12th. That's part of Rehab season. That's the second big fight. They got the fight September 21st, AJ and Dubois. That's a big London card at Wembley
Oh,
Stadium.
they
Then
finally
after
they
that,
finally scared. They
yeah,
finally put it
October
on the
12th.
schedule.
Yeah, it's October 12th. Now they was talking about putting Shakur and Williams Cepeda as the co-main event for that fight. But now I'm hearing that they're gonna move that fight maybe to February, and that'll be the co-main to Crawford and Vergil Ortiz potentially. That's what Turkey want to do. But
Wow.
they were trying to push Shakur and Zepeda as the co-main to Bilber and Bitterby. I was like, oh yeah, and load that card up. But right now all they got is Bilber and Bitterby. So Turkey he trying to finalize the undercard. So I can't wait till he come out with the undercard for that Bitterby Bilber. I'm pretty much sure
I like
it
I
should be
like Turkey
strong
Al
like all his cards been strong undercards.
I like Turkey Al man. He's pretty cool, man. I like how he think. You know what I'm saying? He putting this shit together, and I think he's good for the sport, man. It's like it's crazy that somebody got to come from all the way overseas and shit to get American boxing straight. Cause we can't get our damn promoters and shit to work right, to get things right. So we got to get a damn Saudi, what I'm saying, to get boxing together. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. When he first came over here, he was doing fights like he was doing the Nagano and Fury's fight. But I was like, I really wouldn't think I didn't think he was gonna be no big player. But when I really started getting excited about what he was doing, was a fight that a lot of people probably thought was gonna be a mismatch. It turned out to be a mismatch. But when he had the AJ, he set up that AJ Nagano card. And I saw how Nagano did against Fury. I was like, man, this boy Turkey man putting on some stuff, some exciting fights, man. I knew somebody was gonna get knocked out in that fight, and AJ
Hmm.
knocked him out. So I started kind of paying attention to him then, and he's been putting on big fights ever since. He had the Fury Usyk card. That
Hmm.
was a good fight and good card. Now he got AJ and Dubois. That's a good strong card too. Then you got to
Hey,
say you
B
got
Dog,
Bill
why you don't like
Vergil.
the Turk? B Dog, why you don't like the Turk, man? It's like he's trying to put on these big fights and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to get it together. Why you don't like him though? Is he doing something that we don't know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, why you don't like him? He says, what's good? Dave Skates all day in the building. What's going on, bro? He said, shit, I missed the last 4 rounds. So did Virgil really lose? I don't think he had enough time to like really make up for the 2 knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? And he lost a good majority of the rounds, so he never did get a knockdown. But some people want to replace the power shots that he was doing for those jabs and stuff and activity that Bohachuk was putting down out there. Before a while he had Virgil kind of fucked up. What I'm saying, as far as trying to get in and scoring and stuff. So, but people are counting those power shots that he kind of had your boy legs weak. What I'm saying? He kind of had him, damaged at the end. So he was able to pull it out. I thought he maybe fought to a draw. But
No, I had
other
it
than
as a
that,
draw. That's why I had it as a draw.
but I could see if somebody gave it to Bohachuk, what I'm saying? And as a champion, they don't do this shit no more, JB. Like, you got to take the belt from the champion, what I'm saying? You can't just, go in there and just draw it up, what I'm saying? The champion usually pull it out, or get the, what I'm saying? They get the benefit of the doubt, what I'm saying, in the fight because he's a champion, but they don't do that shit no more. So boxing is changing a whole lot. What I'm saying? It is changing a whole lot, from the traditional sport that we knew. So it's hoping he can eventually win over all the fight fans, but I don't see that happening. You know how Americans are, nigga. We are fickle as hell. You know what I'm saying? We see one bad fight, nigga, you done. He said, I don't care for his approach. Said he does a lot of grandstand. He's a damn prince. You know what I'm saying? What you expect? You know what I'm saying? His daddy got 59 goddamn sons and daughters. He had got to stand out. He wear a picnic rag on his head. Come on now. He says,
Yeah, he was at that De La Hoya fight. He ain't had that rag on. He ain't had that turban
I
on his
know he
head
came
up in
he
LA. He
came
looked
American
different.
style.
I ain't know. I recognized him at first. Like, oh, that's Turkey. Okay.
Turner said he going American style. He said, I
Yeah.
appreciate him putting money in. He said we see that's why I think he's good for boxing. He trying to get Canelo to fight David Benavidez. Um, but I think he done gave up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? He already see Canelo ain't fit to do nothing that's gonna get a L on his record. He's not gonna do that.
And think about
So
it is
when
he got Fury Usyk. We would have never got Fury Usyk because the fight is both of them guys right really big enough draws, especially Usyk. Usyk is a talented fighter, but he really ain't no draw. Fury is a draw in the UK, and he's a decent draw here in the United States because of the Wilder fights. But what both guys was asking, it was going to be very hard for that fight to get finalized. But Turkey came in and made that fight happen, just like Bilver and Bitterbead. They would have never fought because they both were good fighters, but they really ain't no draw. So the money that they was gonna want to fight each other, no promoter was gonna put up that type of money for that fight. So it took a guy like Turkey, who's a fan of the sport, to put up the money for that fight. Now we getting fights that we probably wouldn't have got otherwise. Fury Usyk, we getting the rematch in December 21st, and Bilver Beterbiev. Them two fights that we would have never got if Turkey wasn't here.
yeah. Dave Skates all day. He says those early rounds, Virgil was cracking them. to the body a lot, but he said he started blocking the shots. That's what I was talking about earlier. He said fight kind of remind me of EJ Porter. Said they just got right into it. That's what had me rolling, Dave. I mean, them boys, it wasn't no fill out type of shit. It's like they just came out swinging, bro. They just came out cracking, and I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? What I mean, when is the last time you saw that besides like Boots versus David Avenesian? You know what I'm saying? Where Boots just came out blazing, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this shit is good, man. You know, Boots and Vila, that shit was, just come out cracking, bro. Just going at it. I loved it. I loved it. He said you need more than your own money to bring the top revenue. Yeah, you need, yeah, that's true. He says, but it starts, he said it's a start, but people paying for fights is there, is where the money is coming in at. He said starts, but the people paying for the fight is where the money is coming in at. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? He says he has money to blow now and hope to gain top revenue later. Yeah, he's just making an investment, you know what I'm saying, getting his name known, you know what I'm saying, want to become a staple in boxing and stuff. But he seemed to be a genuine boxing fan, though. He knows what's going on. So I just want to see, him, saying give these boxers, saying another option to get into the ring to make fights. And, if Crawford will fight for $2.5 million, we should be able to see some more fights. You know what I'm saying? If he can, you know what I'm saying? Because he can offer more than that to fight Boots. Eddie Hearn seemed like he's very confident that that fight's going to happen. He keep mentioning that Boots fight. I don't know why they keep promoting the Canelo fight unless it's something they know that we don't know. But I don't know why they pushing this Canelo fight so hard. It's like I know that's something Crawford want to do, but you got 154. That man is at 168. You need to concentrate on your weight class, just like Jamel Charlo was telling his ass years ago. Concentrate on your weight class, man. It's like you never want to go through the fire in your weight class. You're always looking ahead somewhere. You always got your head in the clouds somewhere. Fight them dudes that's right there around you. That's where you get your legacy and your respect. That stop being strategic and trying to wait till motherfuckers, it's one belt, motherfucker can grab all the belts and you just fight that dude. I hate that kind of shit. I really do. I want you to go through the gauntlet like everybody else. And that's the only dig on Bud, and watching them damn gloves they keep massaging. This nigga got a spa, all day spa on his goddamn gloves during the fight. You know what I'm saying? Your hands hurt and shit during the fight. What the hell happening? Why do they keep massaging your gloves, my nigga? It's like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of things that need to come out. You know what I'm saying? You said, I think Usyk beats him more convincingly in the rematch. Oh, you're talking to Doc Kent. You know what I'm saying? Dave kicks out there. He says, but also a problem Virgil has been having is he's been KOing cats early, so he hasn't been putting in rounds. He said this fight he had to go the distance and he gassed himself out early than anticipated. And, but see, that's part of your conditioning. So you got to be able to get that second and third win. When you're in good condition, that's what happens. You go out there, you get tired. You know what I'm saying? But then your conditioning kick in, and he started. I think he got his second win because he started really rallying. Getting a rally going at the end. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the fight. You know what I'm saying? He started, getting his, timing and everything started coming back because he was missing so many shots. And I was like, he was putting so much power on them shots and velocity on them shots. I was like, man, god damn, you're wasting, it's just that not being in the ring, what I'm saying? Not being active, what I'm saying? You're going to be off like that. You saw Crawford missing shots against Mandrinov, saying having a year off. So they're killing the sport too, with inactivity. You know what I'm saying? So and it's making, saying it's kind of making it lesser skilled, saying lesser skilled, saying because we're not getting the best product when they stay out the ring this long, 13 months. And I think Charlo's going on 13 months. I think Spence going on 14 months. And so they got to rebuild themselves all the way back up again. And then they take another damn break. You know what I'm saying? For Spence, he's probably going to get in another goddamn car accident. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just how that should be. He says, yeah, Canelo is, okay, Canelo too big for Crawford. Crawford just want that damn paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Because really, your reputation don't take a hit if you move all the way up to 168. That's what Kell Brook did. Kell Brook went all the way up to damn middleweight to fight Triple G before he fought EJ. You know what I'm saying? So he could just have that cushion. You know what I'm saying? It's just a tactic. You know what I'm saying, to make that money. He said he fought
Yeah.
stronger fighters without being knocked out. He fought stronger without being knocked out. I was impressed by the punches Bud was taking in that fight. You know what I'm saying? I was really impressed because he got cracked a couple of times. He says, he's truly a cruiserweight, and he beat a guy who's one of the tallest, heaviest in heavyweight division. So
Oh, you talking about
he has
Usyk? Usyk, yeah.
special call.
Yeah, Usyk, man. That's
I
why
mean,
he's arguably the #1 pound for pound fighter. It's either him or Crawford. Got Inouye up there too, but that's why he right there in the conversation is #1 pound for pound
he
fighter. Undisputed
to me,
cruiserweight champion, beat the top guy in the heavyweight division when he beat Fury.
to me, he lost against the Boris. You know what I'm saying? When he got hit in the midsection and they waved that shit off. I'm like, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, that
said,
was right
Bud
there on the
Special,
belt line. That was right there on the belt line. It's like, yeah, right there,
like, get
right
your
there on
ass
that
up
belt
out.
line.
He says, Bud Special, but still he shouldn't fight. Yeah, like, you got a whole division right there you can fight. Why go up there? This is on Cash Crypto said after Virgil got knocked down 6 times, so he turned it up a notch. I know that shit was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful to see, because he was desperate, man. He knew time was ticking down. He knew what it was looking like. Um, he knew he was behind, and so he knew he had to make an effort so he can make an argument in the fight that he came back, and you could see him struggling, man. That was the beautiful part of it. You could see that he was pulling that shit from the inside. You know what I'm saying? That eye of the tiger shit. You know what I'm saying? That's You can see the heart. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this motherfucker is like he finna go for that knockout, and he was trying to knock out Bohachunk. And I think Bohachunk, he was trying to hold on because, that was a little rally from Ortiz that he was pouring it on strong. He was like, God damn. And then them damn body shots started taking effect too. Because Ortiz was going at that belt line for sure. I was like, damn, Ortiz don't I mean he done found his range and everything. And but he was still getting caught with jabs, and he was, here and there, but not as much as he was in the early rounds. You know what I'm
Yeah, he,
saying?
he kept getting caught with them right hands. And that leads me to believe if he fight Crawford, Crawford in his last several fights been fighting out of the southpaw stance. But I think if he fight Vergil Ortiz, he gonna go back to orthodox because he gonna look at that fight with Bohachunk. Bohachunk was tagging him with them right hands all night long. So I think Crawford
Yeah,
might come out in this fight in orthodox because he gonna be looking. I'm gonna he gonna be able to take my right hand. He able to take his right hand. I
and
lay in my right hand, he going to sleep. So I think he
and
gonna
if,
come out in that fight unorthodox. I think I don't think he
and
gonna
you
come out
see
like he's been doing.
Crawford got that reach, just like he's not as tall and long as Bohachunk, but his reach is just like Bohachunk, and he's more accurate and he's faster with the
Mhm.
jab. So he really would be given. Ortiz had so many problems with that jab, trying to get by that jab, and Crawford is just a technician with that shit. So I don't know, man. I just don't feel good. That's a good fight for Vergil Ortiz. He said shit. Said if Nello don't fight Bud, then Bud should fight Benavidez. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Them boys too big, man. I'm talking about, man,
Benavidez at
that's
175. What you talking? You want Bud to go up to
yeah,
175? Benavidez is at 175 now. He got a
man, them
fight
boys.
coming up in December at 175. He gonna defend his WBC interim belt, and then he get that
Them
win. He
boys
gonna fight the winner of Billboard and Better Be. He gonna fight the winner of that.
the Bud fans think he can beat Better Be is the crazy part. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's Black Superman. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's their
think
Black
I think Better
Superman.
Be is gonna lose October 12th, man. I know I'm in the minority. It's like a 50-50 fight, but it seems like most of everybody picking Better Be. But Better Be been hella inactive. been dealing with a lot of injuries. He's 40 years old, going on 41. I think Bivol gonna beat him October 12th. I think Bivol gonna stifle his offense, gonna take away his power. He gonna pick that guy apart, man. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I think Bivol gonna win that fight on decision.
Well, they don't replace this heart with plutonium. So, he ain't gonna never get tired. You know what I'm saying? That dude ain't even human. You know what I'm saying? It's like that dude, he on some shit, he on some juice, and when he punched you, man, he punched through you. Um, that's gonna be Bivol's problem, being able to survive. Because once Better Beef start hitting you, man, it's like in them video games, your power just start chopping down. You know what I'm saying? You saw what he did to Marcus Brown. He do it to everybody. The man. How the hell you got you 40 something years old and you got 100% knockout rate? Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Come
But when I
on
watched
now.
that last fight, when he fought
Come on,
Yard, man,
dog.
Yard had his moments against Better Beef in that fight, man. He looked a little bit more vulnerable than he usually looked. Yard caught him with some good shots, and he might have stunned him a couple of times in that fight. And
Yeah, but he
Better
couldn't
Beef was able to
keep it
beat
up.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
I
couldn't
just think,
maintain it.
and you know what's gonna boil down to when Better Beef punches, Bill would like to be in that high guard, and he was able to take those punches from Canelo when Canelo was trying to get through that high guard. Canelo couldn't
Mm-hmm.
penetrate that high guard coming up from 168 to 175. Now, Better Beef got crazy power. He got power like we ain't seen in a long time, especially in the light heavyweight division. So if it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna boil down to when he can his power penetrate through the high guard of Bivol, because Bivol gonna be in the high guard when Better Beef punches. He was able to withstand that with Canelo and break Canelo down. Now, if those punches hurt and he's able to penetrate that high guard, then Better Beef probably end up stopping him late. But if he's able to take that power away in the high guard, I think Bivol gonna pick him apart. That's what I think it's gonna boil down to. Because he got some good high guard defense, Bivol, but like I say, Better Beef power was so crazy. He catch you on them arms and them elbows and high guard. He can still do a lot of damage to you. So that what it's gonna boil down to. Can he penetrate that high guard of Bivol? If he's able to do that, he's gonna win
Well,
the fight. If
I'm
he
gonna
ain't
tell
able to
you
do that, I think Bivol gonna outbox him.
I'm gonna tell you the problem. The problem is nobody can hurt Better Beef. Nobody can stop Better Beef from coming. You know what I'm saying? And if Bivol can't hurt Better Beef, it's gonna be a problem, bro. It's gonna be a problem because Canelo, he couldn't. What I'm saying, Bivol's a lot stronger than he thought. What I'm saying, he was a lot stronger. He was a lot more skilled than he thought. What I'm saying, but Bivol could stop Canelo. He almost stopped Canelo. But see, Better Beef, what I'm saying, he's a lot stronger. He's a lot more durable. He can take punches. You know what I'm saying. So if Bivol can't hurt Better Beef, it's gonna be a knockout. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I'm a more skilled person. I would like, what I'm saying, I'm rooting for Bivol to beat Better Beef, but realistically, I've seen this guy just bulldoze everybody. What I'm saying, just with jabs. I've seen him destroy people with just jabs and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do think he's on some shit. I really do because he's just too strong, too goddamn strong, bro. I don't think Bivol's going to be able to withstand the onslaught. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he might come with a strategy. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see it. I think it's going to be a classic. I think it's going to be, something that what I'm saying, worth seeing. 'Cause I think Bivol is a high boxing IQ type person. If anybody could do it, Bivol should be able to come up with something. Him and his team, um, definitely a dedicated fighter. It'll be his legacy fight. That'll be the fight that he'd be known for. If he could beat Bivol, he's going down in boxing history as one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's his nemesis right there. So, they've
Yeah.
both been a collision course for a minute.
Yeah, if he beat Bivol, he right up there with Michael Spinks, the greatest light heavyweights of
Yeah,
all time, Foster and them guys. He right up there with those two. If he beats
yeah,
Bivol.
yeah, yeah. So he says the magic gloves won't work against Nello or anyone else. Oh, Nello got his own goddamn dark magic shit. You know what I'm saying? He got his own shit to work with. He said in his mind, he's a superhero, invincible, who can conquer the world. He says
Yeah, I
how
can't
to
wait for that
lead.
fight October 12th. I can't wait for the undercard though. Turkey got to get going on that undercard, man. He been getting them stacked undercards. I don't think
He'll get it.
Shakur and Taylor gonna be
Yeah.
on there. I think they probably be
You,
maybe next year.
you got to think about it. How many fighters see, touching them M's? You know what I'm saying? How many fighters are touching M's before the end of their career? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if he's tossing out them M cards, you know what I'm saying, them M checks, you know what I'm saying, he gonna definitely be able to get those undercards going.
Yep.
And he got that kind of money, so he'll be able to make those cards because no, you ain't gonna say no to some life changing, financial, you know what I'm saying, financial opportunities. He says shit ain't no coincidence. Well, what are you talking about? Cash crypto. He said
Yeah, that could
exactly.
be like a top rank versus matchroom card, like he did a Queensberry versus matchroom card. Because you got Bilver and Better Beeve, he can stack the undercard with the top fighters from matchroom, taking on the top fighters from top rank Queensberry. So
Mm.
they could definitely stack that card up.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of fighters out there that ain't doing shit that should be fighting. You know,
Mm-hmm.
shit, there's a lot of them just laying around. You know what I'm saying? It's like he says only thing is better be is yeah on that testosterone HGH, keeping them young. That's what I was talking about, crack crypto. I was like they acting like this man this age should be this strong and moving like that shit. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm taking better people. Dark kid said, they tell you you're gonna take the monster. Yeah, I mean, I understand, man. I mean, shit, everybody see the same thing you see. The man got 100% knockout ratio. Who does that at that weight class? Come on now. He
Yeah,
said,
that's crazy.
Viva do. He says Viva do got a chin. I wonder if he can take Better Be Power. No, he can't take Better Be's power. No, that nigga is punching holes through walls and shit. That nigga like the white Incredible Hulk. You know what I'm
Yeah, he's not
saying?
gonna try to take them. He can't take them punches flush either. He gonna be in that high guard. It's gonna boil down to again. Like I said, Better Beef got crazy power, so he might be able to penetrate that high guard and then still do damage through the high guard. But if he can't do
Mm-hmm.
damage through that high guard, it's gonna be a problem because Bill
And
gonna be hitting him with them jabs. He's gonna be doing a lot of feints to get him to drop his hand, come over the top, going to the body, try to fight, make him fight at his pace. And if he get caught up in a scientific type of fight with Bill, he gonna lose. He got to make this fight grimy. He gotta make this fight an inside fight, a phone booth type of fight where he getting off his shots and he penetrating Bivens' defense. If he's not able to do that, and you have Bill fighting. Bill would like to fight at a certain pace, at a certain rhythm. And if he let Bill get into his rhythm and get into his pace, it's gonna be a long day at the office for Better Be. So Better Be, this fight gonna boil down to who can implement their style. If Bill was able to implement
well,
his style like he did with Canelo, he's gonna be hard to beat. But if Bill was able to just overwhelm him with his power, like he did with Marcus Brown and guys like that, Ghost Fit,
mm-hmm.
guys like that, it's just gonna be another Bill Better Be destruction show. That was gonna boil down to it. He gonna have to penetrate that high guard though, because Bevel gonna be in high guard. He's not gonna try to exchange with Better B because Better B is a crazy power, so not gonna try to exchange with him. So when Better B's throwing his punches, Bevel gonna be in a high guard. He gonna be trying to just let him
But
get his
see,
shots off and hopefully wear down later on in the
see,
fight.
the problem with the high guard is, see, with Bivol, it don't matter if you got a high guard or not. As long as he hitting you with that power, he got heavy hands.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Brown was doing great. He was doing great until he got hit with one punch, and that shit turned the whole fight around. And I don't care how well you're doing against Bivol, it's like once he start hitting you on the arms, the body, it don't matter where he hit you, he got so much power. Like my man Cash Crypto was saying, that HGH power. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get tired, bro. He's gonna keep on chopping you down. If you're in a high guard, he's gonna punch you in the wrist. He's gonna punch you everywhere. He's gonna punch you in the hip. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in the high guard, you leaving yourself vulnerable to getting broke down. You know what I'm saying? And so he's gonna have to move. I think the key to the fight is his jab and being able to move and not letting Bivol, breaking his rhythm when he gets ready to punch, move and tying up. That's gonna be his way to survive and get rounds in if he could do it. If he can do it. Because better be is good at cutting that ring off and getting in your ass and shit. All he need to do is just keep hitting on your ass, and eventually that power gonna break your ass. You know what I'm saying? So if you sit there like Canelo did, he tried the high guard shit on Bivol, you know what I'm saying? And Bivol was just going through that shit. You know what I'm saying? He was just picking his spots, and you know what I'm saying? Same with, your boy got a good boxing IQ too. Bivol got a good boxing IQ. He's
Yep.
not just a brawler. He can box too. So I mean, it's kind of ugly for Bivol. It's kind of ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of bad. They're gonna have to watch that guy blood. Cause that motherfucker got that predator blood. That motherfucker half a predator.
Sure. Yeah, it's gonna
Hmm.
be. I can't wait for that fight, man. Like I said, it's a true 50-50 fight, man. We don't, we ain't had that one last time. We had a 50-50 fight with Spence Crawford. I think that probably was the last 50-50 fight we had going in. It didn't turn out to be no 50-50 fight, but it was a 50-50 fight going in. This is that type of fight. So when you get these type of
Yeah.
fights, man, you just gotta wait. We can make the predictions and think what's gonna happen. I know you like Better Beef, I like Bivol, but I can make it. I wouldn't be surprised if Better Beef
I,
stopped him.
I
He's a
like
great fighter.
Bivol,
I
really.
wouldn't be surprised if
Re-
Bivol wins. So it's
I
50-50.
like Bivol. I want Bivol to win, but I just know what I'm looking at when I see what Better Be have done over the years. So, I just think he's like, what's that guy was in, what's his name was Draco? What's that Russian guy name? I think that's
Drago, Ivan
Draco.
Drago.
Yeah, I think that's what Better Be. What's going on now, the Crash? I see you, bro. I think that's what he is. I think he's Draco. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got to deal with. Yeah,
He says,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
picking Bivol based off activity and Bivol coming off that injury. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the motherfucker injured. I think he
We
just
talking about Better Beef
cycled.
coming off
I,
him.
I think I think he just cycled wrong and he don't want to. He already been questioned. I think he need to reset so he don't get caught. He says Bivol can't get. He says Bivol can't get Better Be respect from. Yeah, it's going to be yeah.
Yeah, what it's gonna
And
boil down. He got to get Better Beef respect. He ain't got to knock him out, but he got to get his respect. Well, Bill, Better Beef maybe a little bit less aggressive. If he's able to do that, then yeah, that'll be to his advantage.
hmm
Yeah, it's gonna be
He
a good
says,
fight, man. Two high level fighters, two pound for pound fighters fighting. Like I said, we ain't had too many 50-50 fights. I was saying Spence Crawford, but I think the Fury Usyk fight, that was 50-50 fight. You saw how competitive that fight was. Yeah, that's
mm,
Usyk was able to get the knockdown and get that win. He still only won that fight by split decision with the knockdown. Almost knocked Fury
mm,
out. I think this is that type of fight. Yeah.
yep, yep. So that's pretty much cover it all, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just want to come and cover, that Victor Ortiz fight. I thought the shit was a classic, man. It was the best fight, man. I mean, I was so excited, see
Fight of the
these
year
boys
so
slugging
far.
out. Ah,
Yep.
man, this is Man, that shit was so exciting, bro. I mean, now I'm hungry for more boxing. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some more motherfucking action. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, Spence. I want to see Crawford. I want to see Jamel. I want to see Boots. You know what I'm saying? This thing got me on fire to see, more action packed fighting. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Virgil get back up in there. I think as a matter of fact, he need to just get right back in the ring, you know what I'm saying? And get back active, you know what I'm saying? And I think he'll do better in the second fight. Now that he knows what he's looking at, what he's up against, I think he'll do better in the second fight. I think I've seen a little bit of ring rest going on with Vergil Ortiz. You know, I mean, I like the fact that he's vulnerable at times, you know what I'm saying? And I think it just adds to the drama of the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy though. I'm a damn Vergil Ortiz fan. I ain't finna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy right there. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, out of
really,
Fort
really
Worth, Texas.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah, yeah.
Can't wait for his next fight, man. Could be February against Crawford, or it could be a rematch with Bohachunk, but we'll see. We'll
Do you-
see, man. He
Let
got a
me
lot of
ask you a
good
question.
options at 154.
Let me ask you a question. You think Jamil gonna get back to the top of the division? You think he'll be a top fighter when he come back, or I mean, do you think he'll be able to get a belt, or you know what I'm saying, get that fight with Crawford, or he might even fight Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's been kind of floating out there. That he might end up fighting Earl Spence Jr. If Earl, let's say Earl comes back and he beats the shit out of Fundora. right? And he gets the WBC belt. There's a possibility that Mill might get in the ring with EJ. What y'all think about that? Think about that
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. I think he's
They
gonna be
don't
a
because
player.
no
I think he's gonna
longer
be a player
think,
at 154, but I don't think he's gonna be
think
undisputed at
think about it.
154.
They don't
I
have
don't think that's
Derrick
gonna happen.
James. They don't have Derrick James in common no more. So that's no longer a problem.
Yeah,
You know what
he
I'm
just
saying?
gonna keep that Spanish guy. You know, he had that Spanish guy that was really his main trainer. He would go to Derrick James camp like 8 weeks before his fight, but he was actually training with that Spanish guy. I think he probably gonna have him more as all the time trainer. He would work with him and then go the last 6 to 8 weeks. He'll go over there with Derrick James. That's how that worked. But I think he gonna probably just have that Spanish guy doing all the training with him now. That's what I think gonna happen. But I think Jamel gonna be a player at 154, but I don't think he's gonna be undisputed at 154 because when he was undisputed, you didn't have the caliber fighters at 154 that we have now that we had when he was undisputed. Man, he beat Castano and who else he beat? He beat Jason Rosario. That's who he beat. Become undisputed. Now you got Crawford as a champion at WBA. You got Fundora. You got Tim Zoof in the fight for the IBF belt against that guy Machiavelli. So Tim Zoo probably gonna be the champion in the IBF. So you just got a deeper pool of talented fighters at 154 pounds than when Jamel Charlo was undisputed. So I don't see him doing that again. But I think he'll be a player at 154. He definitely can get some good fights and win his share of fights. But I don't think he beat Crawford at 54. I don't think I really don't think he beat Tim Tszyu at 154. Him and Fedor, he got a shot to beat Fedor because Fedor kind of leave himself open. And sometimes Fedor don't use his height and range well. He fight small for somebody else, so that'll open the door for Jamel to maybe knock him out like Mendoza did. So I give him a chance against Fedor. Um, Guys like Maginov, I think Maginov with his athleticism and footwork would give Crawford problems. Give Jamel problems.
Well,
I think Jamel probably can knock out Bohachunk. A Bohachunk right there to be hit. He can land one of them shots like Vergil Ortiz landed throughout they fight last night. I think Bohachunk probably go to sleep taking them type of punches from Jamel. So there's some fights that he can win, but there's some fights he can lose. I don't think he beat the best guys at 154. I don't think he beat Crawford or Tim Tszyu, but him and Vergil Ortiz, that'd be a 50-50 fight. But I think he probably naturally bigger guy. I think he maybe stops Virgil late. So it's some wins out there for Virgil. I don't think he beats Crawford or Tim Tszyu. I probably wouldn't pick him to win them
yeah.
two fights. But outside of that, I think he's a live dog or has a good chance of beating everybody else. Maginov, that's a 50-50 fight too. Maginov with his athleticism and very unorthodox style and his feints will give Charlo some problems too. So outside of them three, I think he will have a real good shot at beating everybody else at 154.
Do you think Mandranoff is a better fighter than Castano?
Yeah, I think he better than Castano. Better footwork. He got the feints, got the right hand, a little bit more versatile, better defensively. I think Maginov beats Castano.
Hmm.
I think he might stop Castano. Actually, Castano he there to be hit. Castano a good fighter though. I think maybe
Uh,
Maginov stops him though.
I'm just trying to work it out in my mind because for one thing, Jamel would have to be, he have to be he has to be the old Jamil. He can't be, half stepping. He can't be coming in there, missing shots and not fully conditioned. You know what I'm saying? He have to be the old, cause the old male, you know what I'm saying? That's how he was able to get through, right? You know what I'm saying? He was able to, make mistakes, but yet come back with the power and everything like that. But see, this male coming off this loss to Canelo, he different. You know what I'm saying? Look like he done been through something. He don't seem like he kind of the same. He I don't know if he lost confidence in that Canelo fight or is he just nearing the end, but he don't seem to have the same passion or fire that he had, before he took that L to Canelo. So like you said, if he was the old male, I would pick him to beat Crawford. I would pick him to beat Mandrinoff and all these guys, but he don't seem like he got that same competitiveness no more. He kind of seemed like he drinking a little lemonade, kind of like the Godfather. He's drinking a little wine now. He's starting to eat cheese and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to relax. He's trying to like fall back a little bit or something. He don't seem to be as intense. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, like right now, what I'm saying, we just speculating. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting to see if he's going to come back. But if he's going to come back full tilt. You know what I'm saying? Don't come back half stepping. Don't come back, just looking for a paycheck. We already seen what you look like against Canelo, and that was a half-hearted effort. I didn't think that Jamel would go in there like that. So I thought he was the twin with the fire in the heart. But somebody said that he took a damn punch from Canelo. He was like, the hell with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
But
that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what got him on his bicycle. That's what got him into survival mode. He got tasted the power early on. He said, I don't want no more. Remember, Canelo dropped him. Jamel Charlo had never been dropped before. Canelo dropped him. So once he got up
yeah,
from that first knockdown, it was all she wrote. He
but
wasn't finna try to
my
win that fight
thing
after that.
is, but here's my thing. He went back to the ropes on his own. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I know his he's not the best on his back leg, but he's not the worst. And the way Canelo hit him, it's like he stood there to get hit. Like a lot of Canelo opponents that back themselves up to the rope. It's like, why are you backing yourself to the rope? That's where he's gonna score. He can't fuck with you in the middle of the ring. So why, so it's just a lot of just, you know, common sense type things. And he just went and he let Canelo come over the top, hit him in the head, and he saw the shot. I was just like, why is he? What's going on here? This dude is loading up. You shouldn't be there. And so to me, it just seemed like a setup fight. It just seemed like these fights are setups. It don't Canelo can't move like that. They keep acting like they gotta sit there and engage this guy. Oh, it's just like I just can't stand it, bro. I just can't stand it. He could
Yeah,
have gave us
his energy was
he could have
different, man. In the lead up to the Canelo fight, though. You look at Jamel Charlo, he talked trash to his opponent, talked crazy to him, and basically tried to intimidate him with his words. But he didn't do none of that with Canelo. He was showing Canelo too much respect, and I don't got to fight
yeah,
with
and he
Canelo
was
and this, that,
taking
and the third. So he didn't. He
the
didn't have the
nigga was
right
taking
energy.
breaks. Nigga was taking breaks during training camp to go play with his kids. I'm
Yeah,
like, what the hell's going on? Like, what are you
yeah,
doing, bro? You. It's almost like you virtue signaling that you're gonna lose this fight. It's like, come on, yeah, I want to play with the kids. Life is about this generational wealth. I was like, oh, it's over. It is over, 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 over. You know what I'm saying? So, I just be looking at the signs and stuff. Look like he's just gonna cruise out the rest of his career. I mean, he's talking good game, but we'll see what he look like, man. It's like it's just kind of hard to get behind. You know what I'm saying? That the veracity, what these guys used to be. They used to be up here and now they down here. Jamel, Jamal. It's just like Lions only brand is kind of down right now. So I used to be high on the Charlos, but oh no, they just kind of let me down. Jamal's still trying to do a little something, but shit, Carlos, not Carlos Adamas. Is he still at 160? Yeah, he's still at 160. Yeah, so he could shit. You got Carlos Adamas right in that motherfucker shit. Carlos Adamas is shit. He's an animal. So
yep.
you know, shit. He riding there acting like the damn soft lion if he want to. Shit, Carlos Adamas coming to tear ass up. So, I don't know. I'm just like, these guys got to get with it, man. Um, there's a lot of hungry fighters out there that's ready to take down the Lions only name. And right now they look like food, for all these hungry wolves out here. So, that's my take on it, you know what I'm saying? But man, what I'm saying? I'm gonna get me something to eat. And I think we cooked pretty good for the day. And let me see, what is tomorrow? Okay, yeah, I got this damn load tomorrow. But shit, I get back when I can though. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we chopped it up. The 300 came through cash crypto, not a cash. What's going on, Tyrell V? Dave Skates all day. JB Sports came up in the building. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, you know what I'm saying? Who fight this weekend? You
You
said
got him Billy and Devachenko fighting. You got Abdullah Mason on the undercard. So they got some good fights on the undercard too. Some pretty good names on the undercard. I can't remember right now, but I do know Abdullah Mason is on the undercard in the 6 or 8 round fight. I don't know if that's going to be on ESPN now. The prelim going to be on ESPN Plus. So I think Abdullah might be on the prelim, the ESPN Plus portion. But he definitely on that undercard that's going to be going down in Canada. So, and Billy, he's fighting a veteran, Devachenko, who I think is on the back 9 of his career. I don't think he's like he was when he fought Danny Jacobs or when he fought Triple G. But he's still
Mm.
probably the biggest name that Billy has fought thus far. So we'll see how he matches up with a veteran like Derevchenko, who knows all the tricks, all the veteran tactics. See how he match up, and will he be able to overwhelm him with his power and athleticism and youth. So that'll be a good test for Billy.
Well, I guess we'll all converge on this weekend. You know what I'm saying? When the fights start, y'all know how we do. You know what I'm saying? This has been your boy, Full Kind of Boxing. See you guys, you know what I'm saying, in the next one, man. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.